go, man.
Let's go.
All right, welcome to my podcast.
Come on now.
This is Lofsky.
Thank you, Granny. Let's go.
Introduce yourself, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm Lofsky. I am an artist, producer, engineer, singer, rapper, whatever. Do all kinds of stuff, and yeah, that's me.
Fuck yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with? Production?
I'm just going with the flow, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah.
With the production side of things, how'd you get into music in the first place?
It's just in my veins.
Journey? Just in your veins, eh?
Yeah, like my dad's a jazz guitarist, so I've been doing that like my whole like just around music forever.
Wow.
So he's been doing that ever like damn near like 50 years now, I think.
Wow.
Something like that.
So you were around music the whole fucking time.
Like I first like played a piano at like age 3.
Okay.
And then I was just always exposed to like, my mom would like come around and she'd like play classical a bit.
Uh-huh.
And then like they put me in a conservatory, so I was doing that.
RCM.
He was obviously doing jazz, and like the first music I gravitated towards was like kind of like pop punk and stuff like that, like My Chemical Romance, Sum 41, Green Day, all those kind of vibes. And then and like I always kind of just liked a lot of different things, and then I got into hip hop like really early too, like probably like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then that was your okay. So
that's when like things really, I was like, oh shit, like this is really
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What about like the classical side of things? Because I have a classical background in
nice
piano.
Hell
like
yeah.
I grew up playing like piano.
Did you go all the way up?
Yeah, I did like this thing called ABRSM, which is based in London.
Word.
It's the Royal Conservatory. I think is like an American thing.
Okay.
But I did ABRSM for like I did it since I was I think in the first grade or something.
Okay.
So I just ran through the entire thing, went into jazz music after.
Sick.
And then delved into like other instruments and then into production. So that was my like thing. But I'm just curious, what was your experience like with classical music? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it, like for me, I found it a bit restricting in terms of like translating my ideas.
Yeah, like by far, I remember it's actually like the piece that I enjoyed the most was a classical interpretation of the jazz standard "Don't Get Around Much Anymore," and that shit was banging. So I always used to like really look forward to like playing that at like recitals. But like the whole thing of like, I just knew it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like that's why I stopped at grade 8. Like I couldn't wait to stop because I'm like, fuck. Like
yeah.
At that point too, like I was playing, I was into rock, I was into metal, and like, I had like a shitty little elementary school band or whatever, and we'd like mess around. We had like a 1-2 original, but it was mostly just like covers kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, I don't know. This is exactly what you said. It felt very limiting. Like I didn't start like actually making music till like my own stuff till like 16.
Till 16.
And like I wouldn't really even like call that music.
Just experimenting and
just
trying
like
to find your
trash until like.
It's always like that, huh?
Yeah.
It's always like that.
I've been doing it 11 years, so like.
Yeah.
It's a lot of.
I think trial and errors and like just figuring out your workflow.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
But I was already putting like, it's funny, like when like looking back on it, like early high school and stuff, like I started rapping at 16 and like freestyling all the time, and like at the time, like it's kind of crazy, like because you almost have to like really think that you're good. Like I thought I was lit.
Yeah.
I was trash looking back on it. Like I was fucking garbage. But I could go for a long time. I'll give myself that.
Yeah.
I could freestyle for fucking like hours. And I was like, I was marketing myself. I had like CDs. I was doing shows and stuff. Like I was like, whatever. I was grinding, but it's just like, it wasn't good. But so like I was already like, I kind of had a little bit of that self-starter. That's when because nothing really else ever gave me that. Like I didn't care about school. Yeah. Couldn't really pay attention until like grade 10 kind of thing. I got like super, I don't know, we're getting ahead, but like.
No, I mean like, dude, I mean, that's awesome. Because for me, I was just like, well, with my background, I mean, like, my parents are like, you got to stay focused at school. You can't be like fucking around.
Yeah.
If you want to do music, you gotta like do it simultaneously. And then with school, dude, it was fucking hard. So like, when I started really getting into it, and my academics were like, obviously like they're kind of like going down, right? Because I'm like putting time into music, and then like there was like this weird time where I had to kind of navigate into prioritizing my education, which I kind of did at the time, and then I got into the music side of things, but
Yeah.
with classical music, man, I mean, like I'll say this, like I learned a lot of fundamentals regarding like just being able to translate ideas like keys.
Yeah, theory,
all of that.
Harmony,
like
basic melody
I
stuff.
still use it till date.
For sure.
So I definitely don't regret that side of things. I don't regret it per se, but
I was in band in school too.
Yeah.
Like it was on. I mean, hey, I'm so grateful for that in high school because it was just easy ass credits. I played like electric bass, and I was just chilling. You know, like at that time too, I was a fucking write off, but like just like as like a human, like I was not, you know, like doing like very well.
Okay.
Like as a person, but like like grades wise, like I was killing it. And like that really boosted like, you know, consistently, which is easy, like A pluses. Like I was in like AP theory and stuff like that, and that was interesting. Like it was really cool, like learning, you know, like that. Like I would pay attention.
Cool.
Like I would want to be less high to go to that, right?
Yeah.
And like I would get mad, like actively, like I'd be frustrated. I wasn't able to control it, but like I was frustrated at myself when I would be like too high, like playing. I'd be like, because you know, like I knew, even though that wasn't what I like, the kind of music that I wanted to be doing, or it's not like my dream to play like, you know, some classical piece on electric bass or something. But it's like, dude, like this is like the one thing you have to show up for, like just fucking fix up. You know what I mean? Like I had that like that kind of vibe with it. So yeah, there definitely was like respect there and good people and stuff.
Fuck yeah, like that's a good thing. Like when I told my classical teacher that I wanted to dive into like jazz music, he was like, "Oh no, you're not doing that.
Really?
You're not doing that."
He said, "Nah,
said, you're never doing that. Like you're only playing classical music, and then, like don't even play contemporary." He was like that.
Bro.
He was like that
That's
fundamental.
That's devil's music.
Dude, like I mean, like, come on, like I was like I didn't understand that at all because
That's
like
hilarious.
I would play it, like I would play classical, I practiced it relentlessly, right? But even then, like he was like, "No,
that's
you're not
so
doing
funny."
that," and I was like, "Fuck off, no."
You know what's so crazy too? Because like all the classical composers, if they were around today,
yeah,
they'd be wilding out, doing all kinds of shit. Like Mozart was like fucked, bro. Like Mozart was a party guy. Mozart was wilding, bro. Died at like 30.
I know, dude.
Was just like not a good dude.
What was that?
Ludwig Beethoven was fucking losing his mind, shitting and pissing all over.
Have you seen his like sheet music?
Dude. No. Was it covered in his feces? Or
just in terms of his handwriting, in terms
of... yeah. He was losing it.
You can't fucking tell what he's writing anything. Like,
but he's a genius, bro.
Oh, bro, of course.
His shit. And honestly, like those guys, like Bach. That shit goes crazy. You ever like Glenn Gould's stuff? Like my dad has a real appreciation for classical. So every now and then, in like the old Corolla, R.I.P. It just died. He hit like 500,000. R.I.P.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, like. Yeah, he'd be just running, like, you know, like when I was younger and shit, I'd just like pull up or something from like the GO station or something. He'd just be like, listen to like Glenn Gould. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're just driving around at night, just like listen to it.
I feel like that influenced though, right? Like that influenced your like taste in music too. Yeah.
Him, like, cause I mean, his idol sort of in jazz, like his mentor was Ed Bickert, but like one of his favorite musicians of all jazz or just music in general was Bill Evans.
Okay.
So like he always kind of like wanted to do what Bill would do on the guitar, like on the piano, on the guitar. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like he was like trying to be this person. I mean, Bill wasn't, you know.
But just
Bill was a write-off too, but like musically he was a fucking genius.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, he's fucking amazing. Bill Evans is just...
Oh, dude, jazz is... Yeah, we could talk about jazz for a minute, like, you know? And I'm like... I'm not a jazz player. I am, however, shout out Lofsky, my father. That's like my biggest inspiration, and like he's gonna be on my album.
Fuck yeah.
He's agreed. We've collaborated in the past.
Wow.
And like, I'm going to get him on. I don't know how many songs yet, like maybe one or two. Mm-hmm. And then definitely at my release party, I want him playing. So
what, like
soloing,
is he playing guitar in the?
Yeah, he'll be playing. Okay, for sure. That's all he does. He's not.
What about composition and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's not really like, I don't know, like it's just at the end of the day, like I'm basically just gonna present him, like, cause I have all the songs pretty much laid down. There's just like one more feature I want to get done.
Okay.
There's like one lyric I want to change in one of the tracks, and like the rest of it, it's really just been like I'm getting it mixed. I've been shooting videos. I'm about to start my short film next month for it.
Fuck yeah.
Like just like a 5-minute thing, but that's about to be super personal. And
sick.
Cool. I might actually get him like quoting on there. I want to have some like voice notes from like
transitions
myself and like people. Yeah, like over BTS. It's like a kind of like I'm trying to do like a something that I like. I mean, it's kind of been done, but this is like it's new territory. Like basically, what I'm doing, it's a 5-minute video, a combination of like music video and then BTS with like people talking about like what it's like knowing me and stuff like that. So the album is called Inside the Norm. It's about being bipolar 2. And like that's my story. That's like who I am. That's part of it, at least, with like addiction and mental health stuff. And like that's always a challenge. And like I kind of wish that I had been like diagnosed a bit earlier, but I knew it was like hard. Anyway, long story short, but like anyway, so yeah, the whole album is about that. So there's hypomania, which is kind of like the uglier side of myself. There's the lows, which like that's like the difference between bipolar 2 and like bipolar 1. Because bipolar 1's a lot more like mania, whereas like I tend to just like have a couple times in a month, maybe once, twice, where I'm just like crazy depressed.
Okay.
And then there's the normal. So like I wanted to have like a good kind of representation, because like I'm not always an asshole and I'm not always depressed. There's most times I'm in the middle.
Okay.
And then there's times where like, you know, I'm just like, you know, I don't know, like I like to have fun. I love life, right? So I'm trying to have a lot of like really relatable shit, positive messages, and then just like, yeah, it's just it's super transparent.
Black and white of things, right?
And just like this is the most like brutally honest project I've ever worked on.
Fuck yeah, man.
And yeah, man, I'm just super excited to put it out. And like the film too, like it'll have like interview sequences of people that know me, like I said, and yeah, I'm excited to create that. And
dude,
everyone involved, you know, shout out VHS Death. He's killing it. He's directing, editing the whole thing. So.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
cool,
shooting,
man.
Yeah.
How long did it take you for like just the starting of the project to where you are now? When did you start it?
Yeah, I started it this year.
Okay.
I don't know if you followed closely, or because I know I met you at Cathedral, but like I've been doing music for quite a while, and then like since last year, I started like. Already, even like last year, I was doing like a lot of releases, like almost every month, every 3 weeks kind of thing. And then basically, so I got with Foundation, shout out Foundation, last year in August. And then I've been, ever since then, I dropped like, I think like 21 singles, and I got another one coming out next week.
Consistently,
So super, super consistent. That's I was doing dope. Like once, like every 3 weeks for a while. Then I went every 2 weeks for a while, slowed it down recently to like a month. And now I'm back to like the 3 weeks. So I'm kind of doing my rollout before the rollout.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just like a lot of thinking, because like I, as much as I spend on the creative side, I try to also spend on the business side.
Yeah, that's
so
super
like
crucial.
Yeah.
My main thing, dude, like when I was starting out, like I was all about the artistic side of things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you relate to that,
Definitely.
but like I was like caring about like the minuscule details about like the art and the things that I did not really look into, like the business aspect.
Yeah.
And like I've realized that, dude, like it's equally, or even I would even argue like even a little bit more important to push it.
I mean, it's like 90% of what music is.
Exactly.
And it took me a long time.
Especially now too, right?
It took me a long time to figure that. I'd say I was like complete trash at marketing until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I'm just slowly, I wouldn't even say I'm like good at marketing yet. I just say that I'm getting a lot better, and I've like built up my confidence a lot. And then, you know, I go up to like, you know, I'm not going to say what company I work for, but I do a form of rideshare, and I show people, like every single customer I have, so however many passengers I have, I show them my music. So, and like I work like right now I'm doing like 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go on vacation, but other than that, you know, so like it's like 6-7 days, whatever. So that's like 100 people like plus a week that are getting exposed to my music.
Yeah.
And a lot of them end up like following me on Spotify. They follow me on Instagram. They might.
That's a good way to convert, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And like
meeting people, and like I mean you're also doing the series of just
going up to people on the street.
Yeah.
And that's evolved a lot too. It's gonna keep evolving. I like literally on the plane tomorrow, like I'm just gonna be editing content. Like I'm super behind. I have so much fucking.
Fuck yeah, man.
And like it's fine. Like it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, man.
So like but I'm bringing the laptop. Obviously, I'm gonna enjoy. Like I'm not like going like to the States. Like I'm not like gonna be recording and networking and stuff. But inevitably, I will be networking a bit. I definitely want to get some sick business cards. So if that's you, hit me up. Need some like really, really dope business, because I feel like that would be sick to just. You know, I hate going to clubs or whatever unless like it's a networking thing or like. Or for music or whatever, or I'm performing.
I think that's a really, really good, smart, efficient approach. Like you're having fun, but like you're also working at the same time.
Yeah, like I like talking to people
and stuff. Like,
but yeah.
And
that's the thing. Like with the content too. Like my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But, no, go ahead.
With the like with the reactions and shit, right? So like it evolved. Like when I first started doing it, it was just like me and Io, or actually no, it was me and Ish. Shout out Say No More. And
Say No More.
And bro, like, yeah, we would just go up, just like daytime, just show up random people. And the thing was, like, I hadn't really shown, like, you couldn't hear the music with it. It would just be the reaction. So then I made that better and tightened it up. And then I'd go with Loud Pack and IO. And then, then we'd like show the music. We'd show like little clips or whatever. And then I started going with Trey. So it'd be me, Trey, and IO. And now, like recently I went with Damn Drone and Oxa. I've been filming again with Trey, filming with IO, and like, I'm looking to do more content trips. Like next year I want to be doing like New York, Venice Beach, Miami, probably Austin, Texas, and just like continually, because a lot more places are just like way more lit than Toronto in terms of like the kind of just like unwielded responses you get. Because I find even when like people too, like, I'm sober and I'm having fun and I'm saying like ridiculous shit to people, but just, like Canadians in general, even though Toronto's the best city to be in for this kind of like material and music and whatever, it's still just like they're quite reserved. So I really want that people that are just like, they're just like fucking balls to the wall. Like I want people just saying like whatever, bro.
Outlandish,
man. Like tell me about your and genuine stuff too. Like some of it, like I do troll a lot, but I also want to have a lot. Like I had some genuine conversations recently, and I want to do that a lot more too. Because
have a variety of like because
it's
always
like,
great, man.
Different sides of. Like yourself, and then also like I'm just very interested in people. Like that's like my favorite thing about like my day job. I love just like picking people's brains and learning from everyone, and
that's the beauty of it. I think like everybody has their own experience, and like everybody learns certain lessons throughout their lives, and like when you talk to different individuals, you're able to pick like certain things that might be useful to you, right? Like
definitely,
I've learned through like so many different aspects of different people going through different shit. And like
for sure,
just like talking, like I'm on the same fucking thing.
This
is why particularly why like I would say I don't know you that well, but like we're getting to know each other, right? Fucking
and that's what like ultimately that's kind of what it is with most people. I think that's like why there's so much division in the world, is because people don't just kind of have a conversation, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter where you are in the political spectrum, I don't even want to get too whatever fucking you're into and not into. Like everyone has things they like, they don't like, communities are a part of.
It's very polarized.
You know what I mean?
Like,
but if we all just talk as people, most of us will just be like, oh yeah, like if I was in that kind of like, it's quite easy to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like if you can't, it's a red flag.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it's like most people can like, they just be like, oh yeah, like if that happened to me, that would suck, or like, oh that's awesome, like that, you know what I mean? Like it's I think
I've noticed like now, like I don't know, like it's like if you have a certain opinion, you have to pick a side kind of thing. Like it's almost
quite
as
extreme.
If, like, it's. And
like, I think social media made it a lot worse. Because it
like
trends,
saturated,
right? Like you capitalize off of like, you can't just have a. Oh, you know what? Sometimes I like to eat ice cream on Sundays. Ice cream's the best fucking food in the world. I love ice cream. I would eat it all day. And that's what people want to see, and it's entertaining, right? Like whether you're serious or not, it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, man. It's just
it's become so extreme, and that's why I think too, like people that are incredibly like divisive are like the most popular. You know what I mean? Like sure, like Alex Jones like lost his mind, and I'm not an Alex Jones supporter at all. I don't agree with Alex Jones. I don't like him, whatever. But it's like people watch that shit because it's entertaining. You don't even have to agree with anything he says. People just want to see someone wild the fuck out. You know, at the same time, they'll watch like, you know, Anderson Cooper or like whoever, you know what I mean? Like any personality, or like Mr. Beast go on a rant, or the Nelk Boys, or Steve Will Do It. Like you just want to see someone fucking
just going
in on some kind of subject matter, right?
Anything that's polarizing, I think it'll definitely get all the clicks and all the attention, and then there's the incentive of making money off of it.
Exactly.
So like, now it's like a whole recipe for fucking disaster in a way.
Literally, because it's monetized, and like, and it's the internet, so shit just like blows up, and then it gets used out of context. And, like already, like I'm not worried about it. And like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting to post this and it's gonna like go fucking stupid. I mean, hey, that'd be great. You know, if you're tuning in now, congrats, thank you for coming in. But like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone just used like, they could easily just now with AI and stuff too. It doesn't even have to be them, bro. You literally just fucking hit up a robot on the computer and then boom.
It'll snap like a particular snippet out of
change
something.
the voice, get someone else to say it, bro. It's really really crazy.
What about AI, dude?
What's your
opinion?
It?
What's your opinion there?
Honestly, like I'm not a huge fan. Like I use so I have a song called ChatGPT Prompt, and I think it's a little interesting. Like honestly, the reason why I chose to call it I literally don't say a single line in the song about AI. It's just like a freestyle talking shit. It's fun to perform live. I like performing it. I probably will do a video at some point for it. But yeah, I literally just called it that because I'm like, hey, cool. Like people are probably gonna search on Spotify and like
click it
to get like information on prompt engineering.
Yeah.
Right, because like that shit was really trending and people were learning it at the time. I was like pretty active in crypto Twitter, and everyone was trying to figure out how to make bots for trading. And then I mean, there's just so many interesting things happening with it. So, and I mean, AI is nothing new. Obviously, labels have had it forever. You know, like I know someone who has a company that like they've been doing like copywriting AI for like years and years and years, and that's like a very you know what I mean? So. There are a lot of like benefits with it. I think it's good for like brainstorming, but I think for like creative stuff, it's quite negative.
Yeah,
and like a bit. I mean, also the automotive industry's had it forever. Like I used to work factories, and like you would just see it. Like you'd see like robots just doing shit.
Yeah.
And like it makes sense because it's like, why would you want to hire like an extra fucking 200 people or whatever?
Yeah.
But then the better and better it gets, the more and the more that we're not needed.
Exactly. It's kind of taking away jobs and everything too.
Yeah.
And I look at it as a tool.
Right.
I look at it as how you use it. But at the same time, like the only thing about it that you can't really determine is just it's developing by itself, right? So it can go wherever it fucking wants to at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
If it's not, and there's like laws like the laws are pretty unclear at the moment regarding
definitely
like, the whole jurisdiction aspect of like regulating AI and everything.
And it's gonna keep getting smarter.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I think is like the like more concerning, because it's like sure, like yeah, we're not like living in some fucking Black Mirror episode, but in a lot of ways, like we are.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, so as this thing becomes more and more sentient, like I'm not talking about like some rise of the robots or whatever. It doesn't make any sense because it's like obviously like robot like what like they're not feeling stuff, so they don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Everything's
they don't
objective,
care.
right?
Yeah.
So.
But it's more just like. You know, like there's just I don't know. There's a lot of things that can be really manipulated, and it already is. Like I mean, you know, people are just like, you're gonna see like an insane like lawyers are gonna be flooded with AI cases.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, just people making shit up about like defamation cases are gonna go through the roof.
Have you seen the first episode of Black Mirror, like of the new season?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it was like just what was it about? The fucking girl just like just making a whole film without getting her rights.
Yeah. And Netflix was like making fun of the AI thing, basically. Like they're like making fun of Netflix.
Yeah. That's insane.
And it was insane. Yeah, she's like living inside of like a movie, and then like she's like her whole like life was ruined by something that didn't, you know. Like, they're like dramatizing events of her life and
there's
like
a company that's actually trying to do exactly that. Like I heard, there's a company that's
so
exactly trying to do exactly.
Bro, I'm not even surprised because like Black Mirror continually like predicts stuff. Yeah. Like, so even like Miley Cyrus, like I'm sure like that tech like existed before they made the episode, and then they made the episode basically of AI just like getting better and better, and then when the artists like are like essentially like held in chambers or they're like dead, and then you could have thousands. Like, that's already been happening for years. I'm sure like the labels have like 20,000 Juice WRLD songs just like for no reason. Mac Miller, like every single artist, like Elvis, like let's hear the Beatles with Mac Miller. Let's hear Drake, The Weeknd.
Sorry, fucking people are like releasing songs with that shit right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can just make like, because at the end of the day too, like labels can really just do whatever they want. You can just make some like super hidden sub project and just call it anything, and then just start putting it out, and then just like, you know, pay influencers or whatever. I mean, there's a million things to do, and I'm not even trying to demonize labels. It's just like at the end of the day, it's a play.
Absolutely.
It's
wherever
totally
the money is, dude. Like I mean, like God forbid. I mean, like if the money is in just AI, fucking just making shit up.
Oh, with like music and stuff.
Yeah. They're gonna go after it.
You know what I think? One practical application that I like it for, and I think it'll be used for, is for songwriting.
Yeah.
Because that makes a lot of sense. Because I've done like minor ghostwriting for smaller artists, but like I would love to do ghostwriting for bigger artists. And like credited writing, obviously, too, more so that. But like usually from what I've heard from people that have been successful with it is like the more that you sound like the individual, the more likely you are to get picked up. Whether that be lyrically, the top lines, or whatever. So it's like if you actually are already sounding like the person, then it's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know, like it could go one of two ways. It could be like, fuck this guy. Like, why are you like using some fucking cringe robot to sound like me, or they'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I hear myself doing it, like I would do it better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I think it'd be personal preference, but like
I can see that, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like the thing for Don Toliver, right? Like when Travis picked him up, like their sound is very similar.
Yeah.
I would say, right?
Yeah,
But Don
definitely
has
influence.
just like this, just something about him that's very unique. Just I think it's just the timbre of his voice.
Much
and
higher
just-
register.
Yeah.
And because Travis is super low.
Yeah, and
He does the high shit though too.
Yeah, Travis does the high shit. It's just I think with Don, it's just I really like his melodies, dude. Like it just really, really fucking. I don't know if you've listened to that one track with Uzi and
Yeah.
I think it's called Patience or something.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like I saw the fucking live version. Oh my god. Dude.
Yeah, I saw him live. He sounded like the only complaint I'd have at the Rolling Loud set was that like it was just so fucking loud, bro. Like his set was louder than everything else, and like it hurt. It's like I didn't have fucking
Like real fucking loud. Like
yeah, bro. Like it was like uncomfortable, dude.
Oh shit.
Like,
What
it
did
was
you
like-
have earplugs on? Or-
Nah.
Oh shit.
Nah, yeah. So it was just like because everything's loud as shit, right? And like
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
Night Lavelle, I saw Yachty, saw Central C, Bear People, and like yeah, Polo, and like yeah, he was just like by far the loudest fucking set.
Fuck.
Killy went crazy too. Yeah, Killy went crazy. Yeah,
Jesus.
it was a dope like series. I was really impressed by like how that happened because I was I think everybody was sort of like worried when Rolling Loud came here about like just. You know, there's like a million things that could go wrong here, and like there were beefs, and like literally people were calling each other out like right before, and the way that they set up this, like the order was like really dumb,
Yeah.
like didn't make it. Yeah, I don't know. So, but like yeah, thank God, you know, nothing. Like it was a very peaceful weekend.
Peaceful, yeah.
You know.
Oh man, fuck. I mean, with concerts, dude, like concerts like that, I think always like something for your ears. Like even when I'm doing shows, like I always have my stuff, like because that's like a big thing, right? Like your hearing, like you're gonna need that.
Definitely.
Like so.
Yeah, I gotta start being more consistent with it. I've done it once, and like it I was surprised at how like, I still hear like everything. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And like I felt noticeably better. Cause when I don't, like I don't know, like yeah, even though like I'm not like I'm in a much better physical space, like and I'm taking care of myself more than I used to, but I still feel like shit the next day just from being like up late, loud music.
I'm the same,
lots
dude.
of
Like there are
lights.
days when I wake up late
Just,
and I
like,
just
fucking-
feel like useless. Like it just.
Next day after a show, bro, like it's like I feel very exhausted right now.
Yeah.
So you know, like yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like there are days when I have like late nights or something, and I'll come home like pretty late or something, and then I'll like. I'm actively trying to not do that. I'm trying to keep it more disciplined. This is part of it too. Just keeping myself accountable. But there were days, man, like I would come home pretty late and then like fucking sleep the entire day. Or just spend like I don't know if you've had those days where you just like spend time on your fucking phone and just like forever.
Yeah, of course.
And
you
like
just don't want to do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I would just want to have some time for myself, and then like, time for myself becomes like just being on your phone for the entire fucking time.
Yeah. It
And
It's like a
you
Netflix
feel fucking like, what the fuck did I do with my day? I don't know if
Yeah.
you've had that. Like,
of course.
like-
It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
I try to always like the way that I do most of my days now. It's like, hey, I try to make sure that I work enough.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to make money every day.
Uh-huh.
Try to do something creative every day. Try to market myself every day. Try to do something spiritual every day.
Yeah.
And then just like some life stuff. Yeah, like you know, time with the girl.
Yeah.
And just like hopefully some exercise, some movement. Like even if it's just like a bit of walking or some push-ups or whatever. I don't even have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But just something like for that. Try to not eat like shit the whole day.
One thing I've been discovering, like I wouldn't really
Go to
go
bed early.
outside like that before. Like I would just like stay. I mean, like with musicians, I think that's like fucking normal, I guess. During the pandemic, like lots of people suffered through like not being able to go out.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest, dude, I was like chilling. I was just fucking making music and like I was just working on shit.
Yeah.
But like
It was pretty positive for me too.
Yeah, like
honestly, I mean, I went out way more than I should have. I didn't care about any of this shit.
yeah.
So I was like that. Like I moved down here during the pandemic.
Oh shit.
Was networking. We had a place close by to here. Yeah, I just had bare people over for sessions all the time.
Oh man.
Like, you know, that's honestly when I started like really just like making.
And this is like peak pandemic too, eh?
Yeah, like just like moved like right down, boom, June 2020. No one like at that point, like Toronto was like live, bro. Like mid 2020, like no one gave a fuck, dude.
Yeah,
and then that's when they locked it, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy with it. Yeah, it was great though.
Yeah, I mean, I was just doing.
There were dark times too, but like most of it was like awesome, you know. And like I got so much better at my craft. I made, like stupid amounts.
Lots
of
of time for yourself and working on like yeah, man. I agree. I mean, like just I did the same thing. I worked on like just music like back and forth. Learned like more shit about like live and like production and the things.
Yeah.
But I realized, going back to what I was saying, this like I realized like how important it's to be outside and like just like. Fucking, you were talking about like doing something spiritual.
Yeah,
like,
man, just
like
being
fucking,
in nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's really just
taking
like
in the green and everything.
Yeah, man.
And like now I'm kind of like all my neighbors are fucking older than me, so that their perspective with life is just like whatever they talk about is super fucking refreshing.
Yeah, it's like healthier, slow down.
Yeah, it's very like
realistic.
analog, tactile. Like that's the vibe I get. And like I'm able to like I just go out and just like take in like fuck. I wouldn't really do that. Even growing up, like I wasn't really that social. So like I was just like kind of I don't know.
I was always kind of a mix.
Yeah.
But I was really shy though. So like even though I always wanted to like be social and stuff like that, and I had a lot of friends, it'd be kind of hard for me. You know, to just go up to people. I was kind of like I think over the good friend of mine helped me a lot with that, and then you know just putting myself out there and recovery and just everything, just building up my confidence. Because like I didn't really grow up with any like self-confidence or self-esteem. Like, I just didn't have that.
Gotcha.
So I could kind of like, people wouldn't really always be able to tell, but it's like I didn't really like value myself, and I didn't really know what that meant, and how it was like important to, you know, how you saw yourself, and like how like the things that you say to yourself every day, and how that comes like how debilitating that can be. You know what I mean? The effects of that. Like, I had no idea. So it's like I always wanted to like joke around with people and fuck around, and then also like have genuine stuff too. But it's like it would be hard. Like it was that much harder for me to do it.
Gotcha.
I had a lot of social anxiety when I was young.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think music like really helped me to be more social, because I don't think like without that part, like I think I'd still be kind of like fucking feeling awkward around people.
Yeah.
Like music has and the connections you make too off of it. Like I just think it's more organic and like just more. I mean, you can always like meet fucking amazing people anywhere. Yeah. But like consistently speaking, in terms of my experience with like just meeting people through music, it's been very like organic, and like I've like I don't know, like my experience has been like pretty fucking solid with that, and it has helped me to be like more out there and like just more social. Yeah. Like how I am like now versus like how I was 5-6 years ago is totally fucking like insane.
Yeah, me too, man. I'll go up to anybody. Sometimes but you know what's funny is like every now and then that still comes up. Like if I'm in a setting where I'm like, okay, like I don't really fit in here, I don't know anybody, I still get a bit of those feelings sometimes. Where I'm like, oh shit, like, and then like I feel like the younger version of myself. I'm like, oh damn, like I don't really want to be here, or like what am I doing here, kind of thing. But yeah, the best way to just like get over that is just you just go like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna start like even like whatever, like I'll just like start pitching my shit. Like even if they don't want to talk to me, cool. I'll just talk to them for a little bit. I'll fuck off. Yeah. Inevitably, you're gonna meet at least a couple people. Even at a flop event, no one wants to speak to you. It's like there's no way that you're not gonna meet a couple people.
Absolutely.
That wanna, like, you know. And you never know what'll happen with those.
100%.
Those connections, man. I just worked with a friend of mine called With Love from Deji. Shout out Deji. And we literally just met at like a random like music event, like just like a house party thing. Yeah. You know, we were just talking in the kitchen for like time. My boy invited to me. He didn't even come. And then like sure enough, now I'm on Deji's project, and that's on the way. And it's cool.
Fuck yeah, man! Like see, I love that aspect about it too, right? And I think with the whole social anxiety thing, I think you're like, in a way, I think you're actively working on it through that series too, right? Just walking up to people and just fucking talking and like. Yeah, I have a lot less of it now. Yeah. But I still get it sometimes. It's always like it's like a humbling thing when it comes. It's like, oh, remember, hey, buddy, like you know, like. This is like, you know, you're not like, this is not like it like I'm fully myself all the time. Yeah. But it's like that, like I really had to kind of grow into that. Like that could definitely, I feel like it could be taken away if I'm not like looking after myself. True. You know what I mean? Like, like I could, because I used to be such like
especially like when I was on drugs, like I lost like a lot of that kind of just like my personality and like the drive to go and meet people. Like I became more and more withdrawn. Everything became like too much work. So like I could totally see like and like that can happen like sober too, where you just like isolate. You know, I've had so many periods of that, and like it's really unhealthy. So try to just make sure that, you know, like I love spending time with people, and like that's a part of my day, just every day, like trying to talk to people.
No, that's so crucial, dude. Like I mean, we're social beings, right? At the end of the day,
bro.
like that's I think that's what brings meaning. Like apart from like, you know, making art and like all of that stuff, like I think like true happiness and like meaning, I think like comes from fucking making genuine social connections.
Yeah,
because that's
definitely.
like in our fucking DNA, right?
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's super crucial.
Yeah, connection's the opposite of addiction. A good friend of mine told me that a long time, and I'm like, oh shit, that makes so much sense, because like a lot of like kind of the best not just the best moments, but like best days of my life have just been like chilling, just
and
talking,
like
whatever.
just
and
making
like
memories.
that's like, you know, that's like what felt the most. Like that's like kind of what, you know, fills up my spirit the most, versus like times when I've been like, you know, off all kinds of things that should make me feel like euphoric, but like the most euphoric I feel is like letting things go.
Yeah.
Getting over resentments, getting over fears.
Yeah.
You know, kind of facing vulnerable parts of myself and talking about it with people I trust that I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like that, like those are like moments where like I feel physically lighter. Like when I'm like leaving there, or just like having like just good times with friends, like just super genuine shit. Yeah, like I just walk and I'm like, yo, like I literally just feel like I'm floating. And like that's a high better than like anything, you know, like absolutely, that music gives me that good conversation, you know what I mean? Like I just like I feel like a little kid when I just have like just a good, like I don't need like a crazy great day. I'm not even looking for like, I like how you said happiness too, because something was told to me recently too, and you know, like I'm not even really looking for happiness anymore. It's just like contentment. That's like what I try to like aim for every day.
And practicing gratitude helps me with that. Like,
huge.
I just like I would do this like practice of just like just talking about it in my head, like just like talking to myself about like, oh, these are the things that I have.
Yeah.
It did help me for a bit, but I think like it just kind of like numbed it out in a way.
Oh, really?
So I just like started writing it down.
Okay, yeah.
Like writing it down would
it's definitely
like,
more powerful.
Yeah. Like I was able to see it, and like that kind of helped.
At night I do it in my head, because I'm like, I'm lazy.
I just do that.
At night I say like, you know, thank you universe, like God, for like keeping me. So I don't even take credit for my sobriety, because in the morning I ask every day for, you know, when I say God, like I don't know, it's pretty open-ended. I don't define it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying that, just, I don't know, like,
no.
Everyone has their own thing.
Yeah, of course.
And I fuck with all religions and whatever, but it's like, I'm just, that's just like my kind of take.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I just say thank you for everything. You know, thank you for, there's food in the fridge. I'm alive today. I'm breathing. Like, things are good. My family, her family, my girl, you know what I mean? I go through like all that stuff. Safe. And then at the end of the night, and I look at all the things that like I did well and I fucked up that day too.
Yeah.
Like, do I have to like, you know, say some apologies? Or like change my behavior, like what did I, you know what I mean? Like was I getting some road rage? Like like it's usually very easy to spot like the things I did wrong.
Like, road rage is a huge thing for me, bro. Like,
yeah,
like
man,
driving around here, fuck, man.
Yeah, well, fuck, dude. I do it like 50, 60 hours a week now, so it's like,
fuck.
You know, most of the time I'm like very chill about it, and then every now and then I just get pissed off. I like some people are just like crazy, and I take things like, because like when I was younger, like I, you know, like I mean, still, like, I'm still sensitive, and, like, so I can always, like, kind of, and I guess it's, like, an ego thing and, like, a selfishness thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make something about, like, myself and take things the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, my perception's usually, like, off. And when I'm able to remind myself that, then I can, like one of the best skills that was taught to me by my therapist recently is, like, with conversations, or if there's a confrontation or something, like, paraphrasing and validating. Yeah. So, like, for example, like... So like an event happens. I think this whole other thing about it. Like I speak to you or whoever, and I say, okay, hey, can you explain what you meant? And then I paraphrase it back so that we both are. I'm like, okay, so you're saying this, and then even if I disagree with it, I'm still gonna. Oh, okay, cool. Like based on like what you're saying and that experience, I probably I understand that. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we can probably be
find
a much
the middle
healthier.
Ground in there. Yeah.
Versus just like, you know, but sometimes I'm not able to like go into that like
when it's elevated. Like there's ways to have conversations too, right? Like if somebody's fucking yelling at the top of their lungs at your face, You can't fucking have that conversation.
Yeah,
like for me, what I do when that happens is just like I literally like
shut
zone
down.
out. Like I'm just like yeah. Like,
yeah.
If you're not able to have a civil conversation about whatever disagreement that you've had with me, in front of my face in a civil manner,
right,
and articulate your thoughts with me, we can find a middle ground. Like, well, I'll literally like sometimes I jump to conclusions. I've had a bad habit of doing that.
Right.
Like I would do this thing of like, so you're saying this is like. Whenever you start some shit with "so you're saying," it's just like it doesn't go well. So like literally what you just mentioned is like it's paraphrasing.
Yeah,
and like,
literally just okay. Can you just repeat like exactly what you meant? And then, okay, let me see if I understand it. And if I don't, correct me so that like I know exactly. Because it's so easy to subtly even do it.
I know.
And like the defense mechanisms are strong, bro. Like I didn't even know what gaslighting was until this year. I've been doing that like forever, bro. Like, cause like I didn't even know about that. Like, and like I don't intentionally like try to like manipulate people or whatever.
Of course.
But it just like being that like selfish, self-centered little kid, like. You know, like when your back's up against a wall, it's like, you feel vulnerable and shit.
Yeah,
and then like what do I do? It's like, I'll maybe you get paranoid, you twist it. Like there's so many different things, like that like just like bad habits.
So many fucking variables that you can like
exaggeration or just like just like avoidance is like a big thing. You know what I mean? Like just to try to like get out of things, like not wanting to face stuff, like because like that's not like owning up to shit sucks. Like when you know that you fucked up, like it sucks.
And it's a trick with your ego too, right? Like it's like
ego deflating stuff, but it feels better after.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to get into that like self pity.
Yeah. I'm just gonna point this towards.
That better? Cool. Yeah, it's really easy to get into that like self pity of like, oh man, like what's wrong with me, or like overthinking, and then going like too far the other way.
Yeah.
When it's just like, okay, like I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And kind of letting it go at that, and like accepting that, okay, like. It's all good, like, however the other person responds to it. Mm-hmm. Like, most of the times it's just not that serious anyway, and we'll both just move on.
Yeah.
But, like, if it is, and, like, they're entitled to, like, they're their own person.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. And, like, I just have to, like, cover, like, my shit, own up to my stuff. And, like, the rest of it is, like, is not, I can't change anything else, right? So just, like, accepting that. But day to day, sometimes that can be difficult. Like, sometimes I don't want to accept stuff, even though I know... like I have to let this go, or like this is unhealthy. Why am I carrying this? Why am I upset about this? This is a situation outside of my control. This is not good for me. And like I'll still want to be like, no, fuck it, I'm mad, and I want to be mad. You know what I mean?
I need to stay mad.
Yeah.
No, I've definitely struggled with that shit too, man. Before, like I used to have a bad thing of holding on to like as a kid, like with my dad or something. I would just like hold on to my grudges and just like I don't know. It doesn't help. Like sitting down and having a conversation, that's something like that's super crucial and that's needed. With tell me this, with your girl, have you ever had like issues of like when they're trying to explain some shit, right? Like just talk about their day and you're just giving them solutions, and like, dude. That thing's like crazy, right? Like like you try to help out with like logical solutions. But like obviously, like one thing that helps is I've realized this through experience is just ask them, dude. Like, do you want an ear or do you want
feedback?
fucking?
Do you want you want to just listen and vent?
Yeah.
Do you want me to just listen and just like not fucking interrupt you or?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's like something I struggled with before. Like every single time someone would vent something about their day, I would be like, all right, why don't you do this? You can figure it out. Like, cause I'm that kind of person, right? Like, I just like fucking
Yeah. Okay. So you're presenting a problem to me. Oh, maybe this would like
exactly
work.
Right. Like this should be the solution. Like, try to figure it out through there. But no. Like, I mean. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's just like, hey, like I just need to talk about this. Haven't been able to all day. And as soon as it's out, then I'm like, okay, cool. And I can be like that too. Like shit. Like sometimes, like even with like. Not so much with therapy, because like when I'm going to a therapy appointment, like I'm trying to like target and like work on stuff. Yeah. But there is definitely a venting part of it too. Sometimes you just need like someone to just like get shit off. You just need to get shit off your chest. Yeah. And then sometimes when you say it out loud, you'll be like, shit, yeah, I overreacted, or like, I could have handled that better, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like because it like when when like you write something yourself physically as a human down, or like you say it out loud, it's a lot, like it's real. Mm-hmm. It's not just in your head. It's not like a side thought. It's not, you know, 'cause it's easy to like kind of like reject a thought or push it away or something. And,
yeah, man, it's fucking.
But when you say it to another human, and you mean it, and then it's like, oh shit, like I probably have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like they might not even say that to you, but it's just like an accountability thing. It's like, oh yeah, like probably should take a look at that. Yeah.
Man, grudges are
Yeah.
They can fucking ruin like lots of relationships, like.
Yeah, and just like happy, like, you know, just all kinds of stuff. Like it's very bad to be like for health.
Yeah.
And the stress of that.
Yeah.
To hold that.
Because you hold it.
That'll literally kill you.
Yeah, it becomes
like
real.
Yeah,
It becomes heavy and like you're just fucking.
I've been really working on my like stress management stuff.
Yeah.
Like
how are you with that? Like, would you?
I'd say I'm slowly getting better, but like my whole life I've been terrible at it, and I handle stress really badly.
What, in terms of like organization, or?
So it's like no, I'm.
Walk me through a process of like.
Okay, so for example, event happens, like a stressor happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so like maybe it's a major life change, maybe not even.
Okay.
But so like the way that my brain always used to interpret it would be like, okay, it's the end of the fucking world. Mm-hmm. So anytime something would happen, it'd be like catastrophic. Yeah. And then like if it actually was serious, then like, you know, and I would just, it's not that I would always have like a meltdown or something, but just like hyper extreme kind of responses to it. Yeah. And like always making it, you know, because like 90% of the things that we worry about don't happen. Yeah. So I'd always assume like the worst thing. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, oh, this unfortunate thing happened. Oh, fuck, like I'm done. I'm fucked this time. Like that's what like my brain always goes to. Like, oh, I'm fucked. It's over for me now. Right. I'm done. I'm done.
Is it like an impulse or reaction that you have? Like, do you have an impulsive like?
I am impulsive for sure. I try to handle it a lot better and be aware of it. You're right. So like that helps too. Like and then so like with the stress management side of it, it's like okay, cool. So like let's say a situation happens. Yeah. Maybe it's an altercation. Maybe like I owe money to the government, like whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, like I got a new vehicle recently. I had to sell that. That was like that process of that. It can be stressful, or like moving to a new place. Like
dude, what, like fucking moving.
Literally anything, bro. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, when I sit down and like put my big boy pants on and just like kind of chill and look at it, it's like all right, like. It's not that fucking important. Yeah. It's really not that fucking important. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, nothing is ever like that important. Especially like, you know, there's a couple ways of looking at it. It's like, all right, so am I going to think about this in 5 years, 10 years? No. Probably shouldn't stress about it.
That's a really good way to look at it, man.
You know? Yeah. But then sometimes I can't get in there. So it's like, and then it's also the head on. Because at the same time, too, it's like, I also sometimes have the problem where I just want to like almost self-medicate it. So it's like now I don't like, you know, I've been sober for a long time, so I don't take drugs or I don't drink about it, which used to be the first thing. Anything that's stressing me out or pissing me off, whatever, okay, I'm getting high. Like immediately. That'd be the first thing I would do.
That would be the coping mechanism.
Every single time. And then like as a sober person, then it changed. So then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Mm-hmm. And then I don't smoke anymore. So it's like, okay, but like, I'm still doing things. So like, oh, maybe, I'm just, I'm pissed off, whatever. I'm going to go shopping now. Or, I need to, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of changes. Or, I'm going to play video games and isolate in that. And I'm not going to do any of the things I want to do. Or, gotcha. I'm just going to like, and like, if I do it, there's a healthy way to do it too. Like I could like, the best kind of way is to like, sit with the feelings, you know, because like that's what I'm like I don't want to do naturally. I don't want to sit with this like uncomfortable stuff.
I'm the same, dude. Like I mean,
but it's useful,
dude,
and like you need it.
Absolutely. I for me when I've had that type of stuff, like I shut like I told you I kind of like kind of shut down in a way. Yeah, I shut down and then like it'll resurface. And then, like, I've always noticed, like, for things like stressors and shit like that, like, I immediately go through logic. I filter it through, like, a logic lens. Like, this has happened. Like, what am I gonna... Like, I've done this ever since I was a kid. But, like, in terms of feelings, like, they surface later for me. Like, they surface, like, later, and then I'm like, oh, fuck, like... In some sort of, like, different... angle too, right? Like if some bad shit happens, I look for the solution immediately. Right. I'll try to resolve it, and if it gets resolved, cool. If it doesn't, then I like try to like process my feelings later. Yeah. And then sometimes like I process it again through just like okay, what happened? Just like what you just said right now, right? Just like what happened? Am I gonna think about this in the grand scheme of things? Right. Where does this like play a role in my life? And then I'm like, and I just go through that. Like that's my shit. And then I don't know, for certain things that I just like don't want to fucking think about, I just like kind of push it back.
Right.
And then it just shows up. Like
it builds
fucking,
up. Yeah.
Like some other fucking way. And then just definitely. Like I've learned to be more like comfortable with facing like uncomfortable feelings, like that kind of shit.
It's useful. It's really important for art. Like honestly, I would like if I didn't. I'm so grateful of all the challenges that I've had because and like everyone has challenges. We all have our own like
battles
stuff.
And shit.
Yeah, like cross to bear, as it were. I don't consider myself a Christian, but I always love that like analogy, you know. And like so like stress, pain. Uncomfortable stuff, whatever, like that for me is like really relatable. So like then that comes out of my music, that comes out in good conversations with like my mentors, people around me, good friends, like in recovery, and then I get to pray about stuff. I get to meditate on it, and just like spend more time like just like working on myself, and like that's something I've really tried to do more and more as I've just gotten older too, is just like focus more and more on the internal,
absolutely,
because it's really easy to get lost on the external, and then just constantly be chasing. Like that's another side of it too. It's like like I'm having a shitty day, so I want to get some kind of external validation to feel better, and that might be a compliment, that might be landing a playlist, that might be like checking my streams, that might be posting and getting some kind of dopamine ruch there. Absolutely, like, what I mean? Or promoting something. At the same time, it's like, and none of those actions are bad. It's just the motive. Right? If the motive is behind it. The intention or the motive is like off, then it's just like, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, man.
Right? So
I don't know, like it's tricky with that shit because you have to do it in a way, right? And you're like constantly like whether we like to admit it or not, it's still a dopamine rush regardless, right? Like you're still like fucking.
I try to like limit the amount of social media that I use. So I mainly just use it to support people that I like. And then and just like organizing messages is the biggest thing. And then just posting my shit. And like other than that, I try to not just be on it too much, because like then like all the other things come out. My greed gets heavier. My envy gets heavier. My insecurity gets heavier. My self-pity gets heavier. And it's just like I'm just kind of like wasting time, and I'm like lost, and I'm away from like completely out of the moment. So I'm just like pissing on my day for no reason. Like it's just not conducive.
How is it with like for me with like when I'm eating food and shit? Like I have like a thing where it's just like with people especially. I completely put my phone away. Like I've had fucking full on fucking conversations with people where like they're like eating and they're like doing this shit. Like, in front of me too. Like I'm like, oh, it's like that. Like it's like that, intense. Weirdly enough, though, like when I'm eating like by myself, I have like some sort of fucking entertainment. I don't know if that's
I don't know. I try to watch it when I'm with people, but like I just sort of filter. Like I might glance at my phone unless it's important. I'll try not to get to it, but like sometimes I definitely do get distracted.
Of course,
right, but
sometimes you have to get certain things if like
if it's urgent, but usually it's not. And even sometimes too, I'm trying not like because naturally I always want entertainment, so I'm trying like sometimes to just not have it. Like even if I'm charging my car. Like, it's very easy to just, like, sit down and, like, okay, cool, I'm going to watch Netflix while I'm charging. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then it's also like, okay, cool, so I've just been sitting down for, like, 5 hours, whatever. Like, dude, what's wrong with you? Get up. Like, probably, like, use the bathroom. Maybe, like, eat a snack or something. Like, fucking walk. Like, literally just go for a walk, bro. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in a suburb, if you're somewhere nice, like, whatever. Like, maybe just move your fucking legs and just, like, be a person for a little bit. And come back, and like luckily that's usually what I crave, and then maybe I'll watch like something funny like for a couple minutes when like near the end of it, but that's something I try to, even when I'm eating sometimes too, I like, because before I always, and like I like watching shows and movies or whatever when I'm like eating food. You want entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it's good to just have it
just intentionally, just like
I'm just sitting here, I'm like just
I forget the word for it, but just
mindfulness.
Being mindful about
like whatever.
Just like in terms of eating, there was a word for the fucking
for like
savoring like your
definitely.
food and like just like being aware of like just like being intentional with that.
Mindfulness is amazing though for like anything.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's hard for me to like when they're because like normally like if I don't watch it like I just live in my head like all day. You know, like before.
You're making up shit in your head too, and then like
man, like I could, you know, like if I
make a whole scenarios in my head, bro. Like
totally. Like I could, like you know, especially when I was like shyer before, or maybe just like if I didn't feel like and I mean I do it like so if I get bored in a conversation or I feel like I'm not contributing, like I don't have something to contribute, or whatever, or if I'm driving someone and we're not talking, I just drift off. And that drifting off, like although like like obviously I'm driving, I'm focused on whatever that's not good. Like when I'm in my head, I'm daydreaming. Like for me, that's always fucked up. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it can be good because I'll get random like good creative ideas, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to write that down. Like I'll try to remind myself, and then that keeps me. But like it's very easy for me to just head in like a strange place.
You know what I mean? So what kind of daydreams would you say? Like
I'll just be like, you know, driving, and then like, oh, I just start overthinking everything. Like everything about my life. Like, oh, what could I be?
Hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just like a million different things. Like I'm like, oh fuck, I have to do 15 things today. Oh, how much money am I making this month?
Oh my god.
How am I gonna be significantly further in my career in 1 year, 2 years, 1 month? Oh yeah, I need to record that. You know what I mean? Like all these things at once, and then it's like, oh shit, and I'm just like making myself.
It can be overwhelming too, right?
Yeah, like, that's what I do to myself, bro. I just make myself miserable for no reason.
Jesus.
So like, but the solution is like, you know, if I'm like literally just, it doesn't matter, good day, bad day, whatever. Like fucking weather's nice, whatever. Just like okay, cool, like. Hands on the wheel, like oh, I'm wearing black pants, like or right now, like I'm sitting down, talking with a buddy.
Yeah.
I'm in a basement. I'm like you know.
Yeah.
I'm in
just being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. Just like kind of slowing down, just like okay, cool, like. Just being present, because like that's like you know super huge, right?
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise it's so easy to like analyze stuff. Oh, I could have done that better in the past, or then you like more so like I find I don't go on that train like I used to all the time, and like over like beat the shit out of myself about all the mistakes I've done and like could have like things I could have done better. But I find I don't do that as much anymore, which I'm happy about. But I do often just jump like to the future.
Like thinking about like what's gonna happen in the future.
Things I want, like whatever. How am I getting this? How am I going there?
Man.
How are we getting a house? Blah blah blah. And then I start rushing. Marriage, kid, all these. You know what I mean?
Heavy.
And then it's like, dude, like probably just slow the fuck down, bro. Like you're not there yet. You know what I mean? Like you'll be there when you're there.
Yeah, that's a really good way. I didn't really look at it that way, man. Like I know the process of just being making yourself aware of your surroundings. I used to practice that. I had a hard time going to sleep before. So, like, this is what I would do. I would just, like, when I'm laid down, I'm just, like, I start from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Like, I'm just, like, kind of making myself hyper aware.
It's like a body meditation.
Yeah. And then the sonics around me.
Right.
And then I count from fucking 1,000 to 1. Nice. And then I just drift off.
You're gonna get tired, yeah. Reading's good too.
Yeah, reading's really fucking good. But that like the thing you just said, like I used to do exactly that, like for sleeping.
Right.
And I think incorporating that when you're overwhelmed, like maybe I should practice that too. That's actually.
You know what also is a sick hack too? I haven't done it yet. I'll do like cold showers when I feel like super overwhelmed. But even just if you do a head plunge. Yeah. So you make like just like go get some bowl of water. Mm-hmm. Make it nice and cold, and then just shove your fucking head in it.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a life hack. Yeah, it's like physically
washing your face with real cold water too.
Yeah, because it just changes immediately. Just changes how you feel. Like it's like almost like a robot reset. It's like, oh, actually, we're just gonna adjust your settings a little bit, and then it's like, oh, wait, why was I so upset? What's going on? Like, it's hilarious. It's almost like you're just like waking back up again. Oh yeah, this isn't that serious.
Yeah.
Like I can probably just like sit down for a second and like think
absolutely
about this,
just chill the fuck out.
Yeah, just like think about this in a reasonable way.
I've been meaning to start that ice bath thing. Like just
sick.
Like yeah. I don't know. Like I might put it out. Like I mean it's gonna get cold soon anyway. So
it's not optimal up here.
Yeah. So
have you done the like the warm and cold like in spas though? You done that?
I haven't done it, but I've done it in showers. I do like warm,
Okay.
and then I fucking turn it into cold, and I'm like,
Dude, you gotta go.
warm.
Go
and
to a
then
spa,
cold.
bro.
Yeah.
It's sick.
I have to try it, eh?
It's really, really nice.
Yeah. I haven't tried that, but...
There's a whole bunch. We're trying to go like once a season. Maybe I just go with my girl.
shit.
There's one called like Scandinave, so it's like Blue Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, yeah, we go up there. But like there's also one in the city too. It starts with the O.
I was looking into the spa though, like
it's Adelaide and Brand.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. Like it's something spacey something or whatever. But it's cool. Like they have like the whole like they have the sauna whatever.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you just you whether it's sauna.
Does it come with a dinner and lunch or something like that?
I don't know. I forget. I mean, like this like the spas don't really, but like what's so cool is like especially I don't know like there's one in Pickering too.
Okay.
But the Scandinave one basically like you can just go all day.
Yeah.
And so you just rotate between like the warm baths, or you go in a steam room, or you go in the sauna.
Yeah.
Or if it's summer, you just sit outside and you get warm. You drink tea, you chill, whatever.
Yeah, dude.
And then you do the cold plunges, and you just keep like rotating between, and then like you just feel amazing at the end of the day.
I have to do that. I
and you're quiet and shit. You don't have your phone. Like
Oh,
you're just
dude.
like you're in nature. You're just removed from everything.
Yeah.
I get a lot of good ideas. When I'm
Yeah,
there.
no, I mean, like,
Clarity
you're
and
out,
stuff,
like, it's a
right?
total fucking contrast of a thing, right? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
you're, like, just in the city fucking doing your job.
Too
and, like,
much
you're
and just like
it's just-
bare screens
Yeah.
and like just so much like going on, like even just driving,
Yeah.
like, there's just
Oh my
like an
God.
insane amount of sensory information.
Yeah. And even when you're driving, right? Like, your body's at a constant state of, like, you know, it's, we're not.
I'm doing shit.
Exactly.
I'm sitting down, which
Like,
I
there's
shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a risk, like, you know, like a risk of accident. You're, like,
You're watching
subconscious.
drivers,
Exactly.
cyclists, pedestrians, kids, dogs, signage, lights,
Dude.
construction, potholes,
It's insane, man.
you know, temperature changes, what's
Yeah.
going on in your vehicle.
Yeah.
If there's something that, you know, like it's a lot.
It's a lot, and then, like, we're not aware of it because we're kind of used to that daily, like, life kind of thing. And
But
like,
it is kind of like insane.
Yeah,
Like we
it's
all just
insane,
like
dude.
every like, you know, once to twice a day, like the average person, if you like commute to work,
Yeah.
you get in a vehicle and whatever else you got going on in your day, you're doing like basically 10 things simultaneously before
Yeah.
you even get to your like place of employment.
Yeah.
And like you're at like tremendous risk the whole time, even though it feels like comfortable and normal.
Absolutely,
You
it's
know what I mean?
fucking weird.
Like it's super
thing.
dangerous. Like the second you get in the car, it's like
Yeah.
you're in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just driving. I'm just going.
Yeah.
I'm just going to Tim's and like going to the office or like however like you know.
It's insane, man. I mean, like, and then especially if you're feeling like different shit, like prior to even like, you know, doing
Impacts
that kind
it.
of, yeah, and like, I mean, that's why road rage happens too, right? Like,
Yeah,
people
definitely, for
are
sure.
like a heightened state of awareness,
Yeah.
and like,
You know the times when I'm able to like I've been doing it a lot more. Someone told me to, and it helps me like when someone gets really pissed at you, or or like they cut you off super bad, and like then they get mad at you even though they fucked you over, or
Yeah.
whatever the bullshit of the day is.
Yeah.
Because there's always so much of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
especially like downtown. Then it's just like, oh, you know what? When I'm able to just like, they're having a worse day than me.
yeah,
Then I'm like, it's all good, dude.
yeah,
Just go on through. You know,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
more I find like, yeah, like when I'm like, oh, fuck, this person's pissing me off or whatever, something with their energy, I'm like, oh, I don't want to like let them in right now, or I'm just like being selfish or something, then it's like it always comes back.
yeah,
Versus when I just like, hey, I have the windows down. I'm just like going with the flow. I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm going to get there. It's like, as timely as I can,
yeah,
but I'm not going to be like stupid about it,
yeah,
whatever. You know, like I even try to watch it with my speed too.
yeah,
So like unless I'm on a highway, I won't do 20 over. Like I'll just do like I try to just always stay in around like 10 over, and then be like really close to the speed limits when I'm in like residential areas. And for a long like I mean it sounds shitty, but it's just like I used to
know.
just be 20 over like all the time,
yeah,
and it's like an entitlement thing, and it's just kind of crazy. And it's like no, dude, it's like and then like. You know, you're just not only are you just rushing all the time for no reason, which just isn't good for you.
yeah.
But then it's also just like, oh, okay, I'm just like being more dangerous for no
No,
reason.
yeah, like just calming yourself down and just like, yeah, no, having a particular threshold. I think that really keeps you grounded.
Yeah, man. And just like even slowing it down too, like when like so like I'm making money on the road, so obviously like you want to be as timely as possible.
Yeah,
While meeting people, while networking, while having good conversations, while like pitching my shit. That's like the goal of every ride.
yeah,
At the same time too, it's like, okay, cool. Like you know what? If I don't get this next ride, or like, or if this takes a little bit longer, like, is it the end of the fucking world? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's never that
definitely
serious.
not. Yeah.
Or just like if I'm like late to an appointment or something, like I'll just be like so fucking mad and shit. And then like now I try just not to care. I'm like, hey, like, you know, even like my therapy appointment, like either this week or last week or whatever.
Just get a take shit.
I was a couple
easy.
minutes late, and honestly, when I got there, like he wasn't even ready.
Yeah.
I'm like,
dude,
right,
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, they just like,
you know,
yeah, taking shit easy is like, I feel like having a balance of both, right? Like just like when you don't want to take things too easy. Exactly. If you take things too easy, you're like, you know, you're not gonna have a good reputation around. Like,
you don't want to just not do shit or just be like super late.
Exactly.
Because then it's just like just shitty on the other side.
Yeah, but don't overwhelm yourself at the same time, right? Like that's the thing.
Yeah, I find the thing with like being late too. Like I try not to get too hung up on it with other, like, unless like when people are really late, then I just get pissed off because I'm just like disrespectful.
Of course, yeah.
But like, you know, like with myself or whatever, like all it is just communication.
Yeah. If you like
sometimes I can't be there on time, so I'm just like, yo, hey, I'm gonna like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Traffic and like
communicate it.
Yeah, and then everyone's just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think as long as there's communication regarding like just being late or whatever.
Yeah.
Or anything timing in that regard.
Or just
I think
most
it's
things.
fine. Like just tell me.
Most problems. It's usually just communication.
That's true. Yeah.
You know?
Just communicating everything. Like no. I agree, man. I feel like I mean, my childhood too, like I was used to like just like not like really communicating things that often with like people.
Like when you were frustrated, or
just like when I'm like mad.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. I would just like not really talk about it, or like if somebody asks me something, is everything good? I'm like, yeah, we're good. Like, but everything's not really good.
Yeah, you're like annoyed.
I'm like annoyed, but I'm just like, you know, like
you're
trying to look past.
Yeah, trying to get over it.
Yeah, trying to look, or like maybe like there's some shit that happens where I'm like, just like not feeling that great, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I'm making it that big of a deal in my head, right?
Yeah.
And I would just like try to look past it, but like I think like just talking about it, regardless of how big or small you think it is, just bring it up. I've recently had like altercations with people, and it's like it's a good environment because like we, you know, fucking talk, like you talk it out, and like it's good, it's chill. But like when you don't talk shit, like oh my god, like it creates so much fucking issues, like weird vibes in the room, like
all kinds of stuff.
It's tough. But like
it's something about how you go to, like, you know, even like I had an altercation with someone like the other, and like it was just like through text or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I tried to call them.
I'm on the same page, bro.
Because
like,
I was just like,
texting.
yo, like I was like, okay, cool, like I'm not like, I was literally sitting with my girl and shit. I'm like not trying to have like a massive like argument kind of thing. I'm just like, yo, literally, like if we probably just spoke for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I
listened to you, you listened to me.
Yep.
Would have been all good. That didn't happen, and like it's all good. I have no issues with anybody. I keep saying that. And and I hope that they're good and everything too. But it's just like, yo, it's like sometimes that's all it is. It's just like, yeah, just calling, man. Just like we just you know, just talk.
With texting, man, you can't
see a tone.
You can't see a tone. You can't see exactly. You can't like feel the other person,
intention, all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, the kind of energy, like you can tell on the phone when someone, like I can tell on the phone if someone's like fucking around.
Yeah,
I can tell if someone's lying to me. I can tell if they're off.
Exactly.
I can tell if they're like, you know, if they're just like they're not being genuine.
Yeah.
And I can hear when it's like, okay, cool, like, yeah, this is like,
yeah,
this is you, okay, cool, whatever. We can.
I always lean towards calling, especially like even with like just talking too, like
face to face is always the best.
Like that's what I want. Yeah,
like a phone call,
a
FaceTime,
like,
FaceTime audio, whatever the fuck the thing is. It's just like just a conversation.
Just like because texting, I feel like it's very limiting. It's
kind of cold.
What do you mean?
Like it's just like cold.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
Like, you know, there's no like.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about temperature.
Oh no,
sorry.
Not in here. No, I'm warm. I run warm usually. But Like
no, it's cold. I agree. Like it's just you can't really express like that many things. Like although I don't know. Some people might argue like, okay, you can like kind of tell the tone by like whether it's lowercase up or like I don't really.
I think that's kind of bullshit.
I don't really.
Like it's whatever. It's just like I don't know. I'd always just prefer a phone call.
Yeah.
And it can always be shorter too. Like texting
exactly.
can be so fucking
efficient.
long. Like, bro, I don't have like time to fucking be arguing for like
fucking writing
10,
essays.
20, 30 minutes on like a phone and shit. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
even be staring at my phone that long, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No,
Rather just
for
literally
sure.
just like like, we'll just talk and cool.
Yeah.
And like it's all good. Like sometimes you just have to accept like, okay, cool, like we couldn't resolve this.
Yeah.
And like hopefully we can. And if not, like it's all good.
Yeah. I mean,
As long as like at the end of the day, like, you know, you try to be respectful.
and you try to find the middle ground.
Yeah,
and
and it's like sometimes some things like just can't be like, you know, everything like happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's all good. Most people come around.
Yeah.
Again, like whether like and it doesn't matter if you were in the wrong, they were in the wrong, whatever it is. It's just like, but it does show you after altercations and different things like you do see people's true colors as like a good thing.
Absolutely.
So then sometimes too, it's like, okay, you might know it's like, all right, yeah, like I'm not gonna hold the grudge, but like I know that okay, like I can't really trust this person, and like it's fine. It just means I'm just gonna deal with them a little bit differently.
Yeah. No.
And like that's okay, you know. Like some like I'll just a lot of things are like that, and like, you know, just like a part of like entertainment, and, like the business world, and lots of things. Like, you know, like it can be, you know, sometimes people just like, yeah, we'll just like do you dirty, and then it's just how you're gonna handle it, and like acknowledging, like, you know, like you don't want to like not acknowledge it, just like, hey, cool, like that shit was messed up, whatever. But it's not always like, and it's not on some bitch shit either. Like, you know, you stand up for yourself, whatever.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's just like, you know, after you've already like said your piece and shit, like sometimes you just like, just like let shit go.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with that person. And sometimes you still will, and like it's okay. And then it's like, all right, well, like maybe like then it's just like setting up the boundaries of how you can deal with them in like a healthy way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. I look at it as
what
like
you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And some people maybe like, you just like literally just can't speak to, and like that's what you need to do for like your like well-being. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
I look at it as kind of like a thing of, okay, I'm glad this kind of shit happened, and I know how this person deals with it, because like if God forbid if it didn't happen, or like if it didn't get escalated, I wouldn't really know, and maybe down the line I would be doing some really important things with them
for sure,
and like it could go south, right?
Yeah.
Like
and it's like a lesson too, just for anybody.
Exactly,
because most of us kind of do similar shit at some point.
Yeah, and like you it's like I try to lean more towards the positive end of things. Like just try to look at, okay, I'm kind of glad that this happened earlier and not down the line. Yeah, and that really helps.
For sure.
But yeah, man, like going back to fucking like just working with people, right? Have you had like how Jesus Christ, how do you handle like working with people that have like maybe not different ideas in regards to you, but just like maybe you guys don't look eye to eye with a certain idea? Like how do you go on about like
creatively, or like what kind of stuff?
Creatively,
whatever.
Yeah, doesn't really matter.
I mean, it really just depends. Like it depends on the context. Like if we're working together, then at the end of the day, like it comes down, okay, is this worth it or not for me to be doing this?
Yeah.
And some like a lot of times you just have to put petty stuff aside.
Ego
especially
and all that shit,
ego, and just like whatever like little thing is bothering you, and it's just like at the end of the day it's just business, and most of us are just in whatever industry you're in. Like we happen to be in music, but if you're in business or whatever fucking field you're in, you know, you just kind of let shit go and just make things happen, and like have conversations or whatever. And I try to, it's all good. But like just like understanding that like we're all gonna have different opinions and stuff. And like that's a good thing. Like, you know, I don't see eye to eye with everything on everything with my parents or my girlfriend or my friends. We disagree on like lots of stuff, but it's just about like kind of like disagreeing, and like there's a way to disagree. It's like, are we having a confrontation that doesn't need to happen? Like hopefully not. You know, like sometimes like one of my good buddies, I've been friends with him like for forever. And at one point, like every single time we would talk, it'd almost be like you know, it was just like turning into like a right-wing conspiracy theory.
Oh,
and then I was just like, yo, like, it's all good, dude. Like, I might not agree with everything, but like, it's fine. Like, dude, like, we're like, I'm not the problem. We're not the problem. Like, it's all good.
Would it get like real heated too?
Yeah, and it's just like it's just like, and I would just try to slow it down and just be like, yo, like, hold, like, bro, like, I literally don't care about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, it's all good. Like, these are all like, you know, like these things are so much. It's easy to just like worry, like, just whatever, like, you know, different things. Like, I'm not trying to get too far into it, but like, you know, I have certain opinions about COVID, even though like I got the vaccines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but like it was like levels to it. You know, I'm not gonna get too like anyway, but like you can just like literally just argue about anything, and it's just more times it's just like not like all like I like to hear different opinions.
Yeah.
And I like to have discourse and like just be like, like I think this and like they think like I might like think you know for me like Yeezus is one of Kanye's best projects.
Yeah.
I love Yeezus. I like A Dark Twisted Fantasy. At the same time, too, like, I love College Dropout. I love Graduation. You know, like, I love Late Registration. Uh-huh. So if someone, like, a lot of people, too, that you talk to, anytime Kanye comes up, it's like, oh, like, he used to be sick. And now he's, like, falling off. He used to be sick. Right? And, like, so even, like, there's so many different, like, levels, like, within, like, just, like, a person. Like, you can, like, look at, like, whether it's, like, music or, you know, like... I don't know. There's a million things to like disagree with, basically. So,
I feel like with people, there's different facets of them. I think like I look at like isolating those like different aspects. Like even if you don't agree with someone, I think like you can isolate the art stuff from like their political ideologies and like
just everything, bro. I just
I don't know,
like,
man.
All of it. It's just at the end of the day, it's like the way that I mainly look at it is like, hey, can I work with you? Yes or no. Mm-hmm. And if I can't, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best. It just might mean that like maybe we just don't like work again.
Yeah.
Or in whatever capacity. Or maybe we work in some ways, but we don't work in other ways.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And like, you know, like you kind of like I try to have like a pretty like small circle with people that I consistently work with. And then sometimes I'll just like work with like other people, but it'll just be like expecting that it's kind of like less common. Like that's fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, but it's like I love collaborating. I love working with like all kinds of different artists, producers, engineers, graphic artists. Mm-hmm. Like all kinds of different things. Videographers.
I think there's always like I don't know. There's always something that you can learn from, even people that you might not necessarily look eye to eye, right?
Definitely,
Like there's always 100%. Something that you can like learn, and. Yeah, man, it's like a thing with the ego too, right? Like if it's like taking over you, you're gonna be like, oh, that person's bullshit. Like, I don't want to learn anything about.
Sometimes it's hard to see in the moment, but usually,
exactly.
Usually, when I'm pissed off at somebody, it's because I'm seeing a reflection of something I don't like about myself. Mm-hmm. Right. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah. And it might be like a different part of you. It might be that they're doing a different, like, it's not about the specific behavior. Yeah. Right. So like they might be doing something that you don't do and that you don't believe in, whatever. But it's like the way that they're going about it. Like something about it reminds you of something that you either do or have done that you don't like. Yeah. And that's why you're seeing it. It's like the universe is like reminding you, hey, maybe you want to look at this thing. And when you don't look at it, like you kind of see more of it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, man. I mean,
like if you like, for example, you know, if you really hate dishonesty. Yeah. You know, like the universe will test you and they'll put a bunch of liars around you. Yeah. And you're like,
you have to deal with that shit.
And then you have to look at like, oh, maybe sometimes like I bend things, or maybe I exaggerate, or maybe I delude myself. Yeah. Or maybe I'm not like, I don't, like, you know, because you have to look at like, so what is honesty? Right? Like something as simple as that, right? Yeah. And it's not that simple, but like, you know what
perspective,
I
mean? I think, right? Like it's just, I look at it like that. Like I just look at it like if a certain event happens, there's like going to be your perspective of how it happened. And then like people tend to kind of paint it as the truth, right? Like it's a human thing. Like you're gonna want to paint it as the truth, and then there's like another perspective, on the flip side, and then there's a tertiary perspective, right? Like the holistic end of things. So like, just being aware of that, I think is really important. Like if I'm telling my side of the story, like I will always like be open to the idea of like that's my interpretation of what happened,
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, man.
This didn't happen in the sense of just like objective facts. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, obviously you aim to fucking
Yeah.
encapsulate everything,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
We don't know. There's so many factors
there's
in everything.
always lots of variables, and you
Definitely.
might have fucking, you know, missed a certain aspect that maybe your subconscious didn't want to like look over, or just like
like we're not living in the state. Like maybe at some point, which wouldn't be good, but at some point we might be able to, like that Black Mirror
Neuralink and all that shit.
You can like literally rewatch what happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Because like you're seeing like cringy and like kind of uglier moments. You're like, oh fuck, like like oh yeah, that I was mad at them about this, but like oh damn, I was way out of line there. And like I actually made that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes like I might even like start the like like the problem isn't there, and then I create it. Yeah. You know, like picking a fight for like no reason or something, or like whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I love that what you just said about because like we like there is like what is the objective truth? Like we don't know. Yeah. Like we all just have like points of view. Yeah. And like they're all valid. So it's like looking at these different points of view, and then somewhere like even if like let's say like a news event that happened that like this would be objective. Okay, so like a tsunami happens. Yeah. Like that is a statement of fact. There's nothing to argue about that. Yeah. Okay, a tsunami happened, X place, whatever. Now, all right, you're gonna have a million different points of view to look at.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like you don't want to just look at like okay, cool. So I'm just gonna read what CNN says and whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. Like. You know, you want to look at you look at the left, you look at the right, you look at somewhere in the you look at independent, you look at just random people that were there, you look at a million different things, and somewhere in there is what happened. Exactly. That's why I really like Andrew Callahan with Channel 5. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's like the best journalist because that's what he does. Is like, you know, he just lets people talk, and it's just like, okay, cool, like. You know, you talk to the extremes, you talk to moderate people, you talk to like all kinds of sort of fringe people, whatever, blah blah blah, and then like somewhere in this crazy catastrophe that's life, or whatever event the daily thing is going on. Yeah, is like the story. Exactly. And then we all get to experience it and figure out like the way that we take it, and like it's pretty cool. Like it's pretty beautiful. Even like when you think about like an album or something, right? So like let's take like Travis Scott's new album. Mm-hmm. Or just like any album. Like the way I try to look at it now, it's like, okay, well, if I like five songs of like an album, it's a good album. Because like I'm just one person. Yeah. So if I like connected and like enjoy like 5 things or whatever, I'm like, hey, cool. Like this is great. And like, you know, other stuff that might not have resonated with me. Yeah. Might resonate with someone else. Yeah, and that's like someone's like favorite shit. Like they wake up to that shit every day. They know every single lyric. They can't wait to go see it at shows. Like it means a lot to them. They like read the lyric videos. They analyze it. They talk about it with their friends. Mm-hmm. And like, why would I want to take away that from like? I don't fucking know. Like, oh, these are the only bangers. No, yeah. The only, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yo, I'm like one guy. Like, exactly. There's always different opinions about like, no. That even the creator is gonna have exactly. They might not even be like, oh, I don't know. I got better shit coming, or like whatever, or like this stuff's cool, but like, I hate all my old stuff. You know what I mean? Like everyone has their like. Yeah, and it's always like I get people sometimes like telling me, oh, like your old stuff is like I'm like fucking cringing at shit. Yeah, I listen to that. But it's like some people fucking tell me love it. It's like awesome. Like I'm like, wow, okay. Like I'd rather you listen to my new shit, but honestly, if you like it, right? Like everybody has their own taste. Yeah. I look forward to like people like in going back to what we were talking about, it's just like in terms of interpreting shit or like just sharing stories about like whatever fucking things, right? Like. If like I always look forward to like if I have interpreted something wrong or like some shit like that. Yeah. Like when people bring it up, I'm like, all right, this is fucking amazing. Like, I'm glad that this was brought up. Like because like you're always like looking at like this whole like lens of your perspective through things, right? And then like it's a good practice to like have people bring it up and like you just like see where you kind of. I guess looked past, or like I don't know, maybe kind of embellish certain things, or like I don't know, whatever. Definitely. And like keeps you fucking accountable, and I actively like try to fucking do that. Although like I always aim to fucking, you know, go for the objective truth, but you can't always guarantee that shit. No, and like, sure, what was I just thinking about? The other thing, too, like we're all like the main character of like our lives, right? and like it's an ego thing and like a selfishness thing. And at the end of the day, it's like, bro, there's like, isn't there like almost 9 billion people now or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so like there's like an insane amount of people here on like a floating speck of dust.
Yeah.
Like I try to remind myself that too. Like when I start getting really heated about stuff, like just really humble myself, be like, dog, like
zoom out.
You're one fucking sand grain, not even a sand grain, of like a speck of dust on a planet that probably other life forms couldn't give a fuck about.
Yeah, man. Well, funny enough, we were talking. I was talking about this with Jisoo too. Like we were. He was talking about like some shit going down in Nigeria, and like we were talking about like all these like tensions between Taiwan and like China, which is I think like I don't know if you've heard like China's sending like they're transporting like lots of military backup and shit. Like right near the coast of like Taiwan and shit. But yeah, like just zoom out, man. Like just look at it that way, right? Like it doesn't fucking matter.
And it helps. And honestly, I don't even really like when it comes to like world events and news and stuff now. Yeah. I try to only dial into specifics. Mm-hmm. Like specific things that I want to know about. Yeah. Like I won't dial into just everything. Yeah, I'll pick like, something that I want to learn about, and then I'll look at it in a million different ways, and then
why? Because like it'll overwhelm you in a way.
It's just like too much negativity, bro.
Yeah.
And like that's like what sells. That's what gets clicks. That's what gets a lot of attention. And I can only allow that in my space for so long, because like I used to, in school, like my background was journalism. And like I knew I didn't want to be a journalist. I just like my parents like pressured me to go back to school, whatever. And like I mean, it gave me a lot of like good skills. Like I'm able to like do this, and like I like interviewing people and stuff like that. So in a way that it helped music too. Mm-hmm. So but like when I used to work like newsrooms and hard news and all this stuff, and then read a lot, and that was encouraged. And then it's like, yeah, man, you just get depressed, irritated. Like people that like watch a lot right? and listen to a lot of news, like it has like even I noticed it in my dad, man. Like it has a big effect on like the way that he looks at things, and like just overall stress and attitude and stuff like that. And like it's something I don't want for myself. Like I know, like so because like they're not gonna cover all these other amazing stories.
Yeah, the good shit that's happening.
Yeah, man. Like somewhere around here, like some father was just like reunited with his like daughter or something. Oh wow. Some guy, you know what I mean? Like someone just got out of jail. Someone opened up a business. Someone had like a phenomenal experience. Someone like beat cancer recently. Someone just got a dog. You know what I mean? Like I fundamentally believe like as much as we. Because like the negative is always louder. Yeah. Right? 100%. So even in the comment section, like 100 people say like, "Oh, this is awesome. I fuck with it." What do I remember? Comment, the one that's the thing that I remember the most.
Yeah. It'll like, stick with you. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, well, what? Like, and sometimes it's just bullshit, bro. Like,
it's just an opinion. Like, whatever. But it's like that negative thing. It's like it's so loud. It's that much louder. And then I feel like the media, like we just give volume and attention and noise and all and fear and all this stuff.
It's saturated with negative shit, right?
Yeah,
like,
man.
All across. Like,
and then we're just not seeing like all the beautiful things that are happening. Like 100%. It's so easy to like, and it's not to downplay like the climate crisis or whatever, but it's like, also like today was a good day. Yeah. Like the sun is out. I felt comfortable. I drove down with like the windows out. Or like I drove with the windows down. Like, I took in the water. Yeah. Enjoyed the trees. Yeah. That's not fucking newsworthy. But like that was awesome. You know what I mean? So it's like there's all these things happening, or like just people like jogging, like somewhere some dude maybe like they just got the courage to like take better care of themselves. Mm-hmm. Some man, woman, however you relate, you know what I mean? I
love that, man.
Someone like got more comfortable in their skin today. Some people like some friends like had like conversations like what we talked about earlier. Conversations that need to happen. Yeah, and those went however they went, but like they were conversations that need to happen. Like, we're all like changing, and like so like there's a million like I don't think I'll ever do journalism. That's not really what I want to do, but even just with the videos and stuff, like I want to talk about that stuff a lot more. Yeah, like that angle, because it's just like like that stuff that's like what motivates me to like. Other than just music, to like get out of bed, it's like, there's amazing, like there's so many good things happening. Like let's just like be grateful. Like I'm happy that I'm alive. Like let's fucking seize the day, do my thing, and just like, and it's not about me. Like even with music too, and like the art that I'm trying to leave behind. Yeah. Like it's not about me. It's about more than that. It's about like like this project specifically, like I want kids like me growing up that are like, oh, I feel like this, like I hate myself, like I feel uncomfortable in my skin, I'm depressed, like whatever it is that you relate to. It's like that person, like they can play the song and they're like, oh, I'm not
and
alone.
They'll see a part of them and
and they know that, because like maybe they can't, like they might not be at the point yet, or like everyone has different relationships with family. Some stuff are like kind of taboo and not spoken about. You know what I mean? Like maybe you can't talk about that stuff with your parents or with your friends or your girl or whoever, or your therapist, or like whatever it is. But it's like you play something or you watch something or whatever, and you're like, oh, you know what? Like I'm not crazy. And like it's a really important thing for like, especially, you know, with all the mental health issues that are growing, and just like so much just chaos, and like like kids nowadays and like growing up, you're being exposed to much more stuff, right?
Shit,
like
man.
I didn't grow up like staring at a smartphone and iPad like immediately. I did, but like I had time in between. Like I like choose. Like, I'd play games. I'd be like outside. I'd be like talking to people, and you know, connection is less and less. And we don't talk to our neighbors. We don't knock on the door. Like so many things are gone.
Everything's so isolated. I mean, like
you don't even have to go to a school anymore. Right?
Super fucking true, man. Like I mean, you can learn everything online, and like it just, I don't know, man. Everything's very isolated, right? Like even if you go out, like
I think that's the downside of my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Like I was just saying, like like it just, if you go out and like if you don't know what to talk about, like I'm guilty of this. Pull up the phone and like you're just like fucking doing some shit on it. It just, I don't know. Like that's just like, it's just an extension of us. Not even extension. I think it's just, it's like the fucking cell phone has just morphed into like us. Like, cause you get like,
it's a great avoidance tool.
Yeah. It's,
I feel uncomfortable, or I don't want to think about this. Oh, let's look at Twitter.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I feel a little awkward right now. Okay, I'll just watch something on TikTok.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know what to say at this party. I'll just like look at the news.
Yeah, and I actively try to push myself to not fucking do that. Like, just like put it away.
Yeah, and cigarettes were like that for me. For like,
really,
I noticed that too, because it's like like I like part of the reason why I would smoke is like, hey, cool, like I'm anxious, or like usually it's like I'm trying to avoid something.
When'd you get into smoking?
Like cigarettes?
Yeah,
like 16.
16 years old.
Yeah. I'm like, so I stopped for almost 2 years before, and then I went back.
Yeah.
Like cigarettes and cigars and stuff, vaping, and then I've been like 2 years off
How did you get into it? Was it like peers or like how? Well, just you started.
I started like smoking weed and stuff like that too.
Okay.
And I think it was like right before I started smoking like poppers and stuff. I just didn't give a fuck. Like I was younger. And like I don't know, it was just like the thing, like you just like go to the pit and hang out with, like I just was like Artie would probably be at the pit anyway, because like I was trying to buy weed or smoke weed or something. And I was like, all right, well, like whatever, I'll have this. And then I had the first cigarette. I'm like, oh, like, because they always smelled like shit to me, and then I had one and I'm like, oh, this is great. The head rush. So for a while it's like you're chasing the head rush. Yeah. And then eventually you lose the head rush. And then as the older I got, it just like it more became of like it just, even like with the drugs, the drinking, everything, it wasn't so much the use of that's the problem. It was like why I'm doing it, and not even just that. It's like also like, okay, so when you take that, like the reason why I know that like I have like addiction issues, and I'll always have that, even though I've been sober for a long time, like I never like tell myself I have this figured out. Okay. I can never like, because like most of my friends that are dead, and I've seen so many people pass away, and it's never a pretty picture. It's like an OD, it's a suicide, you fall down the fucking stairs, like whatever, you know what I mean? Wow. Like it's always fucked up, and like, and that could have been me and should have been me so many times. So like even we talked earlier about like gratitude and stuff like that too. Like, you know, sometimes like, and I tell myself literally every single day, like when I start getting frustrated with whatever, like, oh, I'm not making enough money, or oh, why am I here, or like whatever I'm bitching about, dude, shut the fuck up. Like you shouldn't be alive right now. You're already living on borrowed time, bro. Like you're, so like my you know what I mean? Like I'm already like, I'm in the gift. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, God's like literally hooking you up just like free shit every single fucking day, regardless if you have a good day, bad day, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like, dude, just shut up, be grateful, and just fucking just give your all. Like try to do some shit for other people. Yeah, just give it back, kind of thing. Yeah. No, that's a really, really, really fucking like honest and like a really positive, optimistic perspective. Because like I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people out there that like struggle with that shit, like especially with like just overwhelming themselves with like fucking tons of like shit, and you're like, oh, I like you were saying, like you do worry about fucking million things at the same time. Yeah.
like it's always a balance, right? Like you have to balance it out because you do want to work towards a future, but also not overwhelm yourself. Because you could take like 2 steps forward, but like you'll fucking take like whatever. If you continue to overwhelm yourself, like you're just gonna take fucking 10 steps backwards.
Yeah, and it's so bad for like, that's why I'm really trying to work on the stress management stuff, because like it's bad for my body, it's bad for my health. Yeah. Like stress will like kill me faster.
And
like,
eating good too, right? Like I think that's plays a huge role, dude.
Yeah, health for sure.
Like recently, I've been doing like a green like shake. Like I just take like
that's good.
Like, I mean, honestly, just, like, being hella honest, like, when I started at first, I was like, bro, this shit ass. Like,
yeah, definitely. Just,
like,
yeah.
I did, like, a kale, celery, ginger, apple.
Yeah.
Like, all that green shit.
Yeah.
And, like...
I'm not consistent with those either. But I can actually enjoy it now.
Yeah.
But it's, like, I'm not... I don't try to be consistent with it.
Yeah, I dunked some honey on it, like in that smoothie. So like now it's like tolerable
with some like protein and shit.
Yeah. So like I infuse it and then I just like chug it, and then I start my day with that, and then like just like I noticed like on the days that I love food, man. I love trying different like types of shit.
Me too, man.
Like all different. Like give me everything, right? Yeah. Like I'll try all of that stuff. Yeah. But like yeah, man, like greasy shit. Like if you eat that and like the next day you feel like fucking like
for sure.
Like, carbs too. Like I don't know, like
more headaches.
Yeah, more headaches, and carbs make me feel really really lazy.
Yeah.
Like if I have like lots of rice or some shit like that, I'll feel sleepy, or like I'll feel like basically like bummy and like like not want to do anything.
Yeah.
Versus like high fiber. Fibrous carbs, or like I don't know, like just protein or eggs, whatever the fuck, right?
No, I feel you. On days when I make a conscious effort to eat healthier, I feel better, think better.
Yeah.
I'm more clear.
Yeah.
I'm more
present.
Yeah, right? Just better. Like same when I on days when I just exercise, even 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Do that. Do some like mostly healthy eating.
Feeling positive too, right? Like
I'm more likely to have a better. It's just like there's no guarantee. Obviously, shit's gonna happen, but it's so true. Yeah, it's like that's like another thing. Like, oh, okay, like did you do that today?
Yeah, keeping yourself accountable that way. Yeah,
like, I feel that way with like prayer and stuff like that. And, I talk to my mentor once a day, and just like having like X amount of things I look at them. It's like, okay, like what did I not do today? Oh yeah, that probably played a part in how I felt. Or, like, why I had a bad day.
Yeah, and no, like. What I get from you is like you're like super self-aware, and I think like that is like really crucial to like just self-improvement and everything. And which is like honestly like you don't really see, like you can meet people like that, but like you don't really see someone that's like really like I don't know like really really in touch with themselves. And I'm pretty sure you've been through like the highs and the lows and everything.
It's still.
Yeah.
It's ongoing,
and it's a process thing, right?
I'm still like a roller. Like most of the time, I'd say 80%. I'm like usually pretty stable, and then there's always that roller coaster.
Yeah.
So and like that's just part of like just who I am. Just extremes and shit, right? Like I'm very like all or nothing.
Yeah.
And like with like positive stuff and bad stuff. Mm-hmm. Like with work, with everything. Like the only thing that I can do like super casually and like not like obsess about it is like gambling.
Okay.
That's like the one thing that I can.
Yeah, I never really. I'm the same with that. Like, actually, I never really understood.
I can go to like for example, like we're going to Vegas in like a couple days, right?
Yeah.
Literally tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like like we're gonna hit the casino.
Yeah.
And like all like whatever fucking American I have, I don't know, maybe like I think I have like 50 US or some shit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna buy more. Like I usually just pay for shit with card. That's how I like to.
Yeah.
So like whatever I have in cash,
on your points.
I'm literally just gonna go and like. That's one of the only things I can guarantee. If I say, okay, cool, I'm going to spend $50.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
You're
like when it comes to anything else, like, no.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
No
like,
way. No way.
Yeah. Like,
if I say I'm going to have one like cigarette, 2 cigarettes, like, oh, fuck, I'm buying a pack.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm buying a vape.
Uh-huh.
Fuck. I'm there again. Or like, oh, I'm going to like, sometimes I can game like chill. I mean, I don't really game like that much, but like just most things.
What do you game? Like
yeah, a bit of COD. I mean, I right now I'm playing LA Noire again.
Okay.
I really fuck with that. Like, so anything Rockstar makes, I love. Mm-hmm. Free World shit is super gas.
Red Dead? Oh.
I mean, I did before, but I don't know. It's kind of boring for me now.
Oh, okay. I played for the first time like last year.
Oh,
so like
nice.
I'm like in that like.
You're enjoying. Yeah, no, it's good for a while.
Yeah,
it's good for. It is a good story. I was playing a bit of fucking. What's it? It's like a jetpack game. I'm trying to remember what the fuck. It's not Saints Row.
Okay.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember what it's called. Anyway, it's like just another one. Like sandbox open games. Story shit is like I've always fucked with heavy like Alan Wake and I played all the Fables and
do you play FIFA?
Like Halo, FIFA sports games like NHL, Madden, whatever.
Yeah,
but the games I have the most fun with are like super story driven.
I'm the same, like a story driven,
and then like just like the ability to fuck around.
Yeah, you know, I probably don't play as many like of the ones that you like mentioned, but like for me the main ones like I mean it's also about time too, right? Like I just like I don't really have the time to play that much. I do FIFA. Like and for new games, I always look at the story. If it's a sick story, I'll get it.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that you brought that up, like because with the gambling, man, like I never really understood it, and I never really. My dad used to be like a little bit into playing poker with his buddies, and like I don't think he had an addiction, but like he would have back and forth. Like my mom would have back and forth with him. Like I didn't really know what it was about particularly. But I'm pretty sure it was like something regarding like him just like going out and like doing some dumb shit. But
bro, it's so easy to do, man.
Yeah, and I never really gravitated towards like that aspect of it, which is honestly I'm grateful for that.
Oh, it's an ugly one.
Because like like I've seen how ugly it gets for people. Like
it's
just
fucked up, dude. Yeah, very violent.
Yeah.
And
but I'll tell you with fucking gaming, like during the pandemic, man, I would play fucking FIFA like crazy, like.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of. I got so sick of Word. I couldn't even play. I don't really like battle royale shit. Like if I'm playing COD, I just want to play COD.
Yeah.
And like that's the if I'm playing COD, bro, I have like certain games like that. That's what I like about like the online kind of fun multiplayer versus story.
Yeah.
Because like LA Noire, I can easily play like a couple hours. But eventually I'm like, okay, cool. Like I like don't get me wrong. Like whenever I'm gaming or something, like I try to schedule it so it's like, okay, cool. Like
for this amount of time and then.
Well, it's more just like, okay, cool. Like have I done stuff that is like what are my priorities? Gotcha. All right, I've made music today. I've worked, whatever. I've been a human. I've tried to take care of myself. Okay, if I want to fuck around, who cares?
Just a bit of
But
leisure,
if I'm like avoiding shit, then it's like no. Like grow the fuck up. Go, go do whatever. COD's really good because it's just like I get sick of it in like 20 minutes. GTA 5, same thing, is like perfect for that because I get so tired of it very quickly. So games like that are cool. Like whereas story games, like once I'm into it, it's like this like I get locked in like the same way I do with like a really good like series or something where I'm just like fuck, I want to know what happens. Like you know what I mean? Like
and you get caught up. I'm the same way. Like I started I didn't play Far Cry for a bit, and so like it got that new one.
And
I was super 6? I was super into that story. I was like fuck, like this is interesting. I finished it within like fucking I had a free week, so I was just like finished it in the week. But man, I don't know, like with gaming it's like it's a good approach to always kind of like keep yourself accountable in a way, because it's super easy to, at least for me, it's super easy to get carried away.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you, for that too, right? Like accountability. Do you have people around you that like try to kind of, I'm assuming
every
your girl
day
is like on
every
you.
Day,
yeah.
My mentor too. I talk to him every day.
Yeah.
Luckily, all the people I have around me like will call me out on my shit.
Yeah,
good, bad, and
that's
different.
great.
Whether I want to hear it or not, it's gonna be said. So it's good.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. And for keeping yourself accountable, what other things do you practice?
Prayer, gratitude, making sure like I'm active, like doing the things I need to do spiritually in a week. Yeah, making sure that I try to exercise at least 3 times a week, that I'm working enough, that I'm creating. Like I try to be in the studio at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
Because I work a lot, so eventually it's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah.
That I'm filming content once a week. That I'm continually like organizing like shows, that I'm practicing my set, that I'm every single day that I'm like meeting new people, marketing myself, whatever. So I always have just like tons of stuff on the go.
So you pre-plan your day for the week, or like
it's kind of rough.
Okay.
Rough idea.
Rough
All right,
idea.
cool. I roughly want to work this much.
Yeah.
I want to create. I want to whatever. And then I try to like, you have to forgive yourself too. Sometimes you just can't do stuff, that you want to get done, and that's fine.
And not putting too much pressure on yourself.
As long as as long as I had a I try to make sure every week is productive and that I'm growing.
Yeah.
Like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, all that stuff. And then if I'm not, okay, what do I need to work on here? And yeah. Like that's like kind of and hopefully like I'm doing things like and then how am I like how's my conduct with other people too like because like being an only child and stuff like that and like sort of like my natural state like I never really I didn't grow up like I would think about other people, but a lot of the times it was like selfish and like hey, like, if I'm doing something for somebody it's because I want something in return.
Okay.
And like not being like just doing things to do stuff. Like I never thought that I would just like just doing good things for no reason with no incentive.
Yeah.
Just didn't make sense to me. Like why would I do that? I never thought I would like do that. That's why like I'm so grateful that like so many things led me to the doing the things that I am now. Cause like I don't like if I had like not been slightly different, maybe not had addiction issues, not had mental health issues, whatever. Like I kind of would have just been like a borderline sociopath.
Yeah, and it would.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would have ever been spiritual, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, I probably would have had like a lot of very dysfunctional
and that goes back to you mentioning, right? Like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, like maybe not like full like sociopath or something, but just like I wouldn't have been a good dude. I would have been like at minimal just like a dick, because like I was a dick, and like. When I'm in sort of like the uglier side of myself, like hypomania, and I talk about it a little bit on the album. Like when I'm in a state like so, it's like you're either low or like that. Like it's not full mania where I'm like crazy and like delusional and like can't sleep and whatever. Not to like insult people that I'm not diminishing that. I have experienced mania before. Yeah. But like hypomania, just like I'm like like that when I'm like that, like no one can kind of reason with me. I'm just like starting fights for no reason. I'm arrogant. I'm like full of ego.
Is that like a consistent struggle like now too, like, or would you say?
I mean, like it comes up for sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't say like it's not like as consistent. Like it's like I have like days where it's like that.
And is it
or sometimes
based?
It's a couple days. Like I don't even. Not always. Like sometimes it's just like
mood type of thing.
Yeah, okay. And then like. Definitely gets worse if I'm not taking care of myself.
Okay. Kind of manifests into
Yeah, and then like external factors and stuff like that, or like if I'm like putting too much weight in different like insecurity could bring it on. Fear I think and stress like that like could definitely bring it on too. And I hate when I'm like that. Like I don't even want to be around myself.
But I got this question for you. But because you're this like obviously you're fucking self-aware and like it's great that you are. Does that help in any way when you are in that episode, or are you just like
it can't I mean it's like mild episode, but it's like it's for several days and like it's just harder for me to hold myself accountable.
Right.
So like I might just like I might just be shittier to people. And then I hate when I'm like that, because it's just like that's not who I am as a person. Yeah. So when you have to like go back and like some people you can't even find or whatever to like apologize to, or you're just like, oh fuck, like why was I shitty to that person, that random stranger, or just like maybe just a bit more short, or like I'm not even saying anything to people, but like I can feel my ego. Like I'm just like irritated that someone's even getting their car. And this is
while you're in that space, or this is after maybe you've come down from?
No, like in the space.
In the space
like,
too,
I'm like
right?
Pissed off.
Yeah.
I want everyone to just like fuck off. Yeah, like I want like at the same like I just want so much like no one can talk to me like when I'm like that. I can't even like it's a hard time to even like talk to myself. And I used to be like that like a lot man. So it's like it's just like when I'm like that like too
yeah.
Try to just remind myself like damn like not every day but like a lot of days were like this where I was just like just a fucking dick and like mad entitled, mad egotistical, mad selfish, mad like just fucking pissed off at everything, and just like it's just nice that I'm not usually like that. Yeah. And it's not to make excuse of it either, like because like I'm not trying when I say stuff like that like I'm not trying to like play the mental health card like well I'm not accountable, like no I am fucking accountable. So yeah. It's like if I'm shitty to someone like I have to own up to it, I have to look at that, I have to rectify things, and more importantly change and like work on myself so that it doesn't like ultimately like lead up to that, what I mean? Like there's ways to handle it.
Yeah.
That's why when we were talking earlier about like the temperature change, like next time, like when it hits me and I'm like just fucking raging, I'm like, yo, like I'm not even gonna give myself the chance of being like trying to sit with those stuff. I'm just gonna like fucking, yo, just dunk your head.
Yeah.
Chill out and like, okay, cool. Like now I can like be me again, you know? That might kind of fucking just wean it down.
I mean, like you have coping mechanisms, right? Like you know how to like kind of bring yourself back to yourself, kind of thing.
Trying to get better at it. It's like it's much easier to talk about it than to when I'm in the moment.
When you're in the
when I'm in it's hard because like
yeah,
even just like it can be just a matter of minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Like I could have, you know what I mean? Like and when I'm like it's so crazy too because the other dark side of it is that I get a lot of inspiration. And sometimes I make fire shit when I'm like that.
When you're okay.
Like when I'm like fighting with people, I'm just like beefing and stuff like that. Like and like I don't even like I'll show up to the studio, I don't even want to fucking be there. Like I'm in like a terrible mindset. Like I'm like going to something I'm excited about. I'm like pissed off, don't want to be there, don't want to do anything. Probably couldn't even sit down and play Xbox. Like, I'm just like fucking like shit. Just, like just
you have to take it out.
Just pissed.
What
man.
about like
and then
physically?
It comes out and then boom, I'm like I'm better. Like I feel better.
So through the music too, right?
That can, it can be super. Like super
anything like physical that you
exercise helps with it too. Yeah man, like just like kind of like I'm like raging, so like when you feel like that, it's like, you know, I'm not a violent person, I don't want to fight anybody, but it's like feeling like when you feel like that, it's like shit, like I'm just like down, you know what I mean? Just, and like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like so, but like if I just like go and I'm like, okay, cool, like. And then even the way that I talk to myself and when I'm like that isn't like good. So I'll just be like, fuck you, bro. Like, you're being a dick. You're out of your mind. So just go and fucking torture yourself right now. Like, just go and like just run as fast as you fucking can, you know?
Yeah.
And just tire myself out, whatever. And like, luckily, like my cardio is not that great, so it's really not that hard to like tire myself out. You know what I mean? So eventually, just go and I work out for like 30 minutes. I'm gonna feel a bit better than I did, guaranteed. Just sweating. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, anger, like I'm the same there. Like just hitting the weights kind of helps me with my anger.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
I've noticed, like if I don't do that, like sometimes I have a hard time with like just I've gotten so much better at coping with my anger than I was before because I used to be almost like really impulsive with my anger. Like I would just like do shit like
right.
which is just doesn't end up well anywhere.
Always bad.
It's always fucking bad. Like working out really helps with the whole anger aspect of things. And like music is like tremendously helpful. Not only like in terms of just negative emotions, just like even if you're feeling happy or like
like all emotions. Yeah,
everything like
boredom.
Yeah, literally.
Honestly, sometimes boredom's the best. Like when I just don't want to do anything, I'm bored. Like, you know, whatever, and then I'm just sitting there. Or drive or whatever wherever you are, and then just like you just get an idea, and then you're inspired again, or you have direction. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know what's gonna hit you.
And what's your process like in that? Like, so let's say an idea hits you. Guide me through like the process of how it was when you started out with music, and then how it is now.
Like before, like I'd always like kind of really like overstructure it, almost like. I'd write like an entire thing top to bottom and like be super neurotic about it, and it all had to be exactly like this. Now like completely different. For years like I was just like punching in, not writing. Now I do a combination. So sometimes like even today I didn't write it all. I just punched in. Made something pretty cool. So like I love punching in, but like I lately I've been doing a lot of combination. Like I write and punch in, or maybe I'll just like load up the beat, try some melodies, whatever, then write to that.
Right.
I like punching in is great for finding different flows and different ideas and not getting stuck.
Yeah.
And then I think that writing is really good for just like really like refined and like deeper kind of mechanisms and like expression.
Yeah.
And it's like the combination is really good. But also sometimes too, like I have to like, one thing that I try to do the most, even with this album and with singles, and like I make a lot, like I have so much music that's just on my heart. Yeah, just demos, like with like different ideas, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm always like trying to create, even like right now, like I don't really have to be recording more shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like as a person, as a creative, I need to be doing it.
Yeah.
And like I try to approach every session like with no expectations, like because before I'd be like, okay, fuck, I have to make a better song than last. I have to make my new hit song. I have to whatever. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. No. I just have to express myself.
Yeah.
And some days I might not be able to. Some days I literally try,
It doesn't come out.
Just nothing's fucking working. The flows aren't working. The like things aren't coming to my mind, whatever, and it kind of irritates me. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. So maybe I'll distract myself.
Yeah.
So then I'll maybe I'll try to play basketball or something, or like I'll play, or I'll eat some food. I'll go on a walk. I'll play games, whatever.
And you come back.
I'll come back to it. I'll try again, and it'll work. Or if it doesn't, then I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? Maybe I just won't do it today. Yeah. And that's fine. Because at the same time, too, like...
Because you tried working on it, and like it's not like you wasted your time.
No, and it's also really important. My bad, I didn't mean to.
No.
I do that a lot where I cut people off.
I have the same fucking issue. So like,
yeah, man, it's a super bad habit, bro. Like when I get fired up about shit.
No. I'm literally, bro. I'm the same fucking way. Like these last few podcasts, man. Like when I've been like talking to people, I'm like, a train of thought hits me, and like fucking wanted. Like I mean, even now, like while we were talking, there's train of thoughts that hit me, and I was like, okay, chill out.
I have to do that every day, all the time, man.
I struggle with that shit too, man.
But so like, you know, just reminding myself too, like, I have to live, and like that's more important, and like, you know, I need experiences. Sometimes I have to step away for like a week, or like maybe I'm just not feeling it, and there's a difference between I'm like intentionally being lazy and I'm just like, it's not coming, it's not happening, I don't have anything to talk about. Because like I had like less, like, not that I wouldn't have inspiration, it would come, but it was harder when I was in a very like scheduled thing. Like when I had my 3 jobs, knew I had to be here, whatever. Eventually, like, life just feels like you're in.
It's a whole different aspect, right? Like that's like a whole, like, you know, like 9 to 5. Like I wouldn't say
almost like it just felt like
just
not like obviously like not prison or anything, but it just like it felt like I'm like in my own, like I'm like forced in this like routine. And then it gets stale and you're irritated and like.
And making art isn't like it's polar opposite. It's like you know, like it's like
it comes and goes, and it has to be natural and organic and with purpose and stuff like that. So now it's like, okay, cool, like, you know, even like this week I recorded like like I a little bit in the beginning of the week and then a couple times in the end of the week. Like it wasn't consistent at all.
Just and are you recording yourself?
Or most of the time. So you know? So, but it's like, even if I didn't record all week and I was just living, like that's fine too. You know, like it's good to just like, that's so important. Like, cause like, you know, like just, bring more and more experiences and whatever into it. And like, you never know like what conversation is going to trigger a new song or like whatever experience you had. And like, that's where like the real shit happens. Like,
man.
Pulling stuff in, like, cause I can't like just be in the studio too much. That's not good. I have nothing to fucking talk about. Like, what am I gonna say? Oh, I'm working hard. I'm in the studio. Like, oh, what the fuck? I don't want to listen to that. No one wants to hear that. Like, it's okay. I'm either like expressing like what's going on inside. Like, there has to be something, some kind of something. Even if you're just fucking around. Like, even if I make like, you know, some track like ChatGPT prompt is not a deep track. At all. Like, I'm just having fun, punching in, talking shit, whatever. But it's like, hey, cool. Like, that was the intention of the song. Like, I'm having fun. Like, oh, hey, Alexa, man, that I'm dropping next Friday. Same shit. Like, I'm just talking shit, having fun, whatever. Like, it literally happened just because I'd get irritated with fucking Alexa. And paranoid, and then I fucking threw it out or whatever. But like before I did that, I like sampled, like I was like, hey, I used to just like sometimes just for no reason just like yell at it.
Okay.
So hey Alexa, you whatever. I'm not gonna say like blah blah blah. Like, and I just like snap at her for no reason.
Oh my god.
And then just like see the shit that you would like say.
I think Alexa.
You know,
does she rap? Funny. I think.
Really?
I think
there's definitely some weird stuff you can do.
There's some crazy shit that there's like I think it starts rapping. Siri does that too, but it's just like bullshit. Like it just.
I used to irritate my girl or something because sometimes we'd be having like I can be really random. And like we'd just be having a conversation or something or like whatever. She'd be like trying to go to bed or some shit. And I was just like, hey Alexa, can you pull up blah 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 blah? And I just like say some like random like, you know, what's the population of Iceland? Or, you know, it's like the most just like irrelevant shit or just like whatever. Just like yeah, this is good. This is exactly what I need right now. She's just like, what the God. Like just fucking turn it off. Like.
But no. I think being goofy for guys is a love language to like show your love. I think like that's lots of times like girls are just like, what the fuck is wrong with this fucking guy? Like what's wrong with him? But like for us guys, I think it's a big thing of just like poking them or like just like I don't know, just goofing around and like
definitely. Dude.
I don't know. Like I mean, in terms of this, let me go back to your like long-term goals. So like where is like Lofsky going or aiming for, like from where you are now? Like
like what I want to do, like just like impact much beyond like myself. Touring,
Would you want to get signed, or are you open to the idea, or are you trying to build something of your own?
I mean, I have a distro deal, but I'm still independent.
Yeah.
So like, I'll probably just always kind of have arrangements like that.
Yeah.
Unless like, I mean, if a really good, I met someone recently that had a really, really good situation, and they set it up the right way. So I don't know. I don't want to say like no. But
Yeah.
Probably I'll probably just always just do kind of distro deals, and I'm down to work with like essentially any group, like backer, label, whatever, that like understands like what I'm doing, and as long as I own, as long as I own the masters and I have creative control and stuff like that, that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather it take longer, and just like do like what I love doing, and then man, like I just I try not to set like too like short terms. Like I got my rollout coming, so I'm hoping to drop the album in February. We'll see if I have to push it back a little bit. I will. With the release party, short film, everything, get my rollout going with that. And then like I have multiple other projects that I'm going to be working on after that too, that I'm not going to get into now, but that's like much more international, much bigger focus.
Okay.
So man, I want to be traveling, I want to be exploring all over the world, just growing, and like same thing, just like growing as a person, growing in media, growing my audience, doing good things for other people. Yeah. And just like living off of what I like doing every day, just making art.
That's the goal, right? Yeah, man.
But like for right, honestly, like I also don't mind working. Like for now, like that, like I don't care that, I have to do what I have to do to keep the lights on. That's cool. Yeah. That's all good. You know, you try to be like, that's like the realistic side of it. It's not to like, oh, you don't want to be realistic and not follow it. Like I'm always going to be making music until I'm dead. Also too, I want to do acting in the future. Nice. Podcasting. I'm open to like, I'm going to like fuck around pretty soon with like stand up. Cause like I have a, kind of a weird sense of humor and stuff. Yeah. So like, I don't know if I'm going to be like pursuing that.
Yeah. Just
like, as something cool, like just to try. I don't expect people to understand my humor, and like even when I post, like I'm glad that like people get like what I'm going for with like when I started doing that, because like it was a very different thing because I used to just go out to people and be like, oh, I want to hear my music, versus like trolling them and then doing it. So like now it's cool that people like understand like kind of what I'm doing, because like I don't expect people to get my sense of humor. It's not for everybody, right? So I'm trying to approach the same way with like the shit that I've been writing, and I think it'll just be good for like just general skills as like an entertainer. I want to get good at dancing too, and just like there's so many things
I can't move my body for the life of me, bro.
Yeah, man. And then like
it just I've tried, I can't dance for the fucking life of me. Like, it's like I can vibe out to shit, but oh my god, like
we want to move too.
Yeah,
I want to be like across the country.
Okay.
In the next couple of years. Get a house.
Fuck yeah,
married. Man. Eventually, not rushing into kids, but eventually I want kids.
Yeah.
Or kid.
Would you want? Yeah. Would you? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna ask.
Kid or kids? I don't know. I'm open to like. It depends. Like it's a lot of responsibility. Dog too. I want a dog.
A dog. Definitely. Do you have pets right now or no?
No, we're just like waiting a little bit, just because it's a huge like commitment, it's and like I love dogs so much. Like I want to be.
What kind? Big dogs or small dogs?
We're probably gonna get a Cocker Spaniel.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they're super like.
Yeah.
Ideally, a Cocker Spaniel Golden Retriever mix.
Yeah, we got a retriever.
Hell yeah, I grew up with them.
Retrievers are awesome.
Yeah, man, they're amazing.
They're so intelligent too.
Yeah,
like
they're such good vibes, bro.
Yeah,
I like all dogs though, like little dogs, big dogs, whatever,
Yeah. I lean more towards big dogs. Like we had a German Shepherd growing up, and she was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And we had a Doberman.
Yeah.
A Dalmatian.
Yeah.
Then we have a retriever now.
Yeah.
Like dogs are awesome, and I hated. I'll be honest. Like I mean, Leo's like right there, but like I hated fucking cats. Like I did dislike them a lot, just because of like how. I mean, they're very human-like, I think, right? Like, they're just, like, they have a mind of their own. They're going to come to you when they want to, and they're going to go away. So, like, in the past few years, like, I just started getting into it briefly. But, yeah, man, like, pets are awesome. But, yeah, it definitely takes a shit ton of work to maintain.
For sure.
Yeah. Cats are relatively lower maintenance. But,
yeah.
But, yeah, man. So you have a new project coming. Shout yourself out in that. And then
Inside the Norm, 2024. Lofsky, Lofsky, all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
All right, man. Thanks for coming here. Like, this was awesome.
Yeah, this was great.
Like, it was fucking great to talk to you.
Likewise.
And yeah, maybe in the future, like after your album release, we can do one more.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. right, bro.
That'd be sick, man.